a total lie. Now we're running. Now we're running.
All right.
Man.
What's good,
you guys
chat?
all right? You guys are you out of breath?
Yeah, today was crazy. I like everything hasn't sunk in. Like I'm on the West Coast, unlike you two. So I was awake when that KD trade, came out, and I read it again. I was like, what is going on? So ever since that, then going to bed, waking up to a million more trades until noon. It's been crazy.
Can I read you? No, go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
I heard it this morning, but last night I saw a text that this might be happening. Yeah, it went right over my head. I was like, no, it's not. No way is it.
That's what I thought too.
That's what I thought. I was like, no way. This is not happening. And then I woke up this morning to see, yes, it did. My buddy calls me, like, he's like, yo, you give me all the updates. You supposed to be the Black Wojnarowski. I'm like, no, I'm not Woj. That's not me. I'm not Woj. No. You're supposed to give me all my updates. How do I find this out before you do? I have no answer for you with that, because I did not think that was happening. I didn't.
Well, it's crazy too when you see like the Kyrie trade, which is already a huge deal, and then to see another one, and then another one. Like I thought it was gonna stop with that and be like, oh, maybe KD will figure something out down the road, but it came out crazy this season.
Right, it did. It absolutely did. I did not think that was going to jump off like that.
Every year we talk about how crazy the trade deadline is, all the rumors, blockbuster trades, and then at the end of the day, it's like, hey, they traded Bob Johnson for a future second round pick, and that's it, and nothing happened. And we're like, man, that sucked. This year did not disappoint. There's so much to talk about. So for those of you that have already joined, we're going to be bringing a bunch of people on to talk whatever you like, trade mostly. We are going to make some fun of some people. We are going to play Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. We are going to play Smash or Pass, my new favorite game. We're going to talk about Katie's new super team. We're going to talk about all the trades if we can, depending on time. I want to start with this, and then I know you guys want to give some shout outs. So we're going to talk about that guy in LA who's hurt today and can't play. But I saw this tweet, Patrick Beverley, the gang is back, and it's a picture of him and D'Angelo Russell. We know that he then would get traded to Orlando for Mo Bamba. We're going to talk about that trade, but I posted on Twitter. I was like, remember why I always say wait till the player's retired before you rank them? I actually tweeted out to Pat Bev. I said, yo, wait. I said, always wait until the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope. Oh man.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
And then I realized, it's Pat Bev. He actually might reply. He might get mad at that one.
He might say something to you, Tom.
Yeah,
he might actually say something.
Later tonight, he'll be going through his tweets.
Yeah, he might say something.
Yeah, it's funny because you just never know. Like before we get into our first topic, which is Mr. James, Thanasi Antetokounmpo, Giannis's brother, had posted a thing. He has a new podcast as well, and he had posted saying, if I had been born and raised in America, I probably would have played football, and I probably would have played I don't know, what's that? The back. It's the position in the back. Like he knew nothing. He goes, I don't know, like safety. He goes, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what it's called, right? And I posted it because I thought it was funny. And so, the analysis. And so he responds back. He's like, hey, thanks. That's funny. Was I right? And I'm like, no, you're incorrect. I go, come on the show and we'll talk about it. We'll talk some football. We'll talk some basketball. So the fact that he responded is a good first step. All right. So that being said, let's dive right in. Somebody I know with all the trade stuff, but before that, did something happen?
Yes, something pretty big happened, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
And we talked about this last week. We knew what was coming this Thursday. We were going to see, of course, all the trades. Of course, the Super Bowl is mixed in there. But somebody made history as well. And I'm curious to know both your takes on it. There's a lot of things that kind of came into that night as well. But Jay, I know Bron is your GOAT. He's my GOAT. Fluent. No.
He's second. What? You say like I have him like 35th.
Focus out. You might as well have. Come on now. No,
Mm-hmm.
I'll respect MJ for sure. But Jay, what did you feel about? Obviously, LeBron did break Kareem's record. What did you feel about Kareem being there? Man looked like he had been up way past his bedtime. But how do you think he felt?
Yeah, he was. Yes,
he
was.
That went into that. Yeah.
Interesting too, H, because I had him doing it tonight against Milwaukee. That's why I had him doing it. I had him doing it against Milwaukee. I did not have him going for 36 against Oklahoma City, right? So the fact that he had to go for 36 in order for them to even be in the game, I saw a lot of disinterest from the rest of the crew. Mm-hmm. You would have thought that, with the night so electric and the star power that was there, that the idea would have been, yo, let's get this for James and let's go out here and win this thing. I just saw a lot of disinterest. I saw a lot of guys who were inefficient. I saw a lot of guys who just didn't look like they wanted to be there. And because of that, it kind of took away from the luster and how important it was. That, don't get me wrong. I've said this to you in the past, H, and I've said it to Tone. James is in year 20. If you don't think that he's this guy by now, you never will. And this shouldn't change that, right? So the guy now has become the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. I'm not poo-pooing that going, okay, this isn't a big deal. I think it's a huge deal, and I don't think that I'm going to be alive when the next person does it. I don't think I'm going to be around because I think that it's going to be way past whenever I'm gone. So with that being said, the fact that he did this as fast as he did it, right? It's just a big deal, but it doesn't change anything for me. We're talking about a guy who averaged 27 a game for 20 years. I don't think that that's going to happen again in my lifetime. That is crazy to even think about something like that. For a guy that not only to average 27 a game for 20 years, to average 29 a game in the playoffs for his career. So I want to dead the logic of him being a pass first guy. No, he is not a pass first guy. Let's kill that logic right now. He's a scorer who can pass. That's who James is. That's who he's always been. That's who he always will be. Tone, you had something.
I was just going to say, he's a scorer, one of the greatest scorers of all time.
Yep.
Who is I was going to take it a step further, not who can pass, who is a willing passer.
Facts, absolutely.
Because most of the great scorers, and I'm not knocking any of these names I'm about to say, obviously, Jordan, Kobe, KD, Baylor, etc. They weren't as willing passers as LeBron. LeBron is not only, and when people say pass first, I always want to smack them upside the head. You can't be, I think, 12th or something like that all time in field goal attempts per game and be pass first. No, that just doesn't, just let that sink in for a second. Yeah. It's impossible to do that.
Right.
So what makes him special is he's argue all you want, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just say top 5 to make it easy. A top 5 scorer all time and a willing passer, which is insane to me. So
with that being, and with all of that being said, this him being the scorer that he is, right? And the fact that he scores in the volume that he scores in and how efficient he's been over the course of his career, his ability to expand his game in terms of his ability to score. Because back when he first got to Cleveland, it was just, I'm bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody else. But then, and I don't hate to say this, in fact, I love to say it, Tone, when he got with the Olympic team, when he got with Bryant, and he actually saw what the work looked like, because it's one thing to see something. Tone, the best example I can give you is, I remember Big Daddy Kane said he was writing rhymes until he heard Grandmaster Cash, and he said he took his rhyme book and threw it in the garbage. Okay, I'm clearly not, I'm not doing anything because I think I'm doing something, but I'm clearly not doing anything. So I say that to say when James, he's working and he's putting in the work and he's getting better. That's of course until I get with Bryant and I see what the work looks like. Okay, wait a minute. Whatever I'm doing, okay, we got to completely scratch our program because this is what it looks like. And it's not a coincidence that once he gets with Bryant, he ends up going on to win the MVP 4 times in the next 5 years, right? He goes on to win the NBA championship as many times as he did. So his ability to expand his game offensively, his ability to expand his game as a scorer, right? So you see the game going the way it was going, where now the long ball is being implemented. I'm not going to be able to stick around, Tone, if I keep playing the way I'm playing, because I am going to be on the floor a lot more. So he put the long ball in his game. He put the mid-range in his game and expanded his game as a scorer, which gave him even more firepower. So I say all of that to say, I already felt like this about him before this happened, and all this does is just add to the legacy.
Yeah. Well, I've heard a ton of people chill. I've heard a ton of people saying, now that LeBron has added this to his accolades or his, resume, now he's the GOAT in my eyes. And I agree with you. It's like, if he wasn't already, this shouldn't really put him over the edge.
I mean, what's the deal?
So, okay. And I don't want to go ahead, Fluent.
You don't want my opinion on this? Or
absolutely.
no?
I do. Of course I do.
Move on if you want. No, you can move on.
Well, I was going to kind of ask, I mean, obviously your take on the history of it as well, but also that night, like, what did you think about kind of what Jay was saying when it comes to like the vibe? Like, it almost felt like they were trying to like not allow that to happen. It was just a little bit.
Well,
cringy.
I'm a numbers guy, so I'm gonna run a bunch of numbers. So first, let me say. To everyone in the 400 plus that are watching, get the likes, get your super chats in. We're gonna get to all of them. I'll flash them on screen, but we will get to them and speak to every single one. Super chats are very important to us. We love you. Thank you. So let me start here. I'm gonna start with the serious stuff, and then I'm gonna end it with a joke. Or do you want me to start with the joke and end with the serious stuff?
What you got, Tone?
Yeah,
Give it up.
I'll start with the joke. I'll start with the joke.
Yeah.
LeBron James gets a pass from Russ, which right away already makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Right? As he pulls up to shoot, Thomas Bryant is in the post screaming for the ball.
Yep.
And LeBron shoots it, makes history, right? The next day, Bryant, out of here. I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know what you were thinking. Calling for the ball. Get out. Get out of LA. You're done. You're out.
Yeah.
You're out. So that part, I love that part. So here are the numbers. LeBron James, 38 years old. LeBron James scored 38 points to break the record, a record that had been in place for 38 years, and he breaks it by scoring his 38,388th point. So you have 38 years old scoring 38, breaking a 38-year-old record and going for 38,388. The fact that those numbers all came together like that, I find to be ridiculous. Ridiculous. And here's where I talk about the history first, and then I'll talk about that night.
Yeah.
We were there, not there. We were watching. We were paying attention. We saw, he and I, when Kareem broke Wilt's record.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of the numbers, LeBron James is the 8th person to hold this record of most points in league history too. So the 3, the 8, that's for Kobe, maybe the 8, I don't know. But the 3 and the 8, anyways.
Wait. Don't leave the part out that what's 3 times 8?
24.
I didn't even think about that. Damn.
I think there was like a 38-month thing too, like something about Kareem's 38 month. It goes on and on. It's
but there's a lot of 38s. Yeah. So, okay.
Just want to put that on your mind. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Keep going, Tom.
And I had to think about it too. It's like 8, 16, 24. That's crazy. All right. So we were watching when Kareem beat Wilt's record, and for years after that, we all said no one's ever going to break this record because Kareem had to play into his 40s, and other than the last couple of years, at a really high, like 20 plus points a game, like at a really high level. And we're like, no one plays into their, especially then, if you think about it, like even now people don't play into their 40s, but like, no one's playing into their 40s. It's never going to happen. And when they do, we see what happens kind of 36, 37, 38. There's this drop off and they're done. So we thought it's never going to be broken. So now you have a guy who broke it fairly quickly, if you can, played pretty consistent through these years in terms of the amount of games and stuff. I know there's been some injuries, but for the most part, 60 whatever games. He's still playing. And he's probably going to play for what, 3, 4, 5 more years? Maybe at least 3. Okay, at least 3. By the time he's done, this record, my lifetime, I don't know if my kids are going to see some, unless the game goes crazy and you get, 30, 40 point scorers, consistently. But even then, you're going to have to score 40 points a night for still 15 some odd years. Like that's it's so ridiculous to think about that this might be like the record that lasts forever. Like forever. Like when we talk about, the 100-point game, that might get broken. When we talk about John Stockton's steals and assist record, that might not get those two. This might join that category of things that won't get broke.
Ever.
ever. Someone actually threw in one. It was actually funny tonight. Pay attention tonight, by the way. Someone said records that won't be broken. 7 fouls in one game. Remember I told you about that guy where the scorekeeper made a mistake?
Yeah.
Yep.
Tonight might be the night where that record gets broken. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you only have 5 people, like if they get fouled out, injured, whatever, because right now there's a lot of teams playing with 8 people because of all the trades. Well, if 3 of those people get fouled out or injured,
can't take them out.
You can't take them out. So there's technically there's a person who could foul 10 times. And like, sorry, we have to have 5 players, so you have to stay in. So if it's ever going to be broken, tonight's the night if it's ever going to get broken.
All right.
So that's the history of it. Is he just broke a record that we never thought was going to get broken. The only people who are saying because he broke it, now he's the GOAT are liars. They're liars because if you had him as the GOAT, you're saying now he's clearly the GOAT, right? And if you didn't have him at the GOAT, this doesn't change someone's opinion, because I guarantee you it wasn't, unless someone had Kareem and said, hey, now he's been to the same amount of finals, right? He still doesn't have the MVPs, but skill-wise, talent-wise, he's better, et cetera, et cetera. And now that he passed Kareem's last big record, now he's the GOAT. That would be the one scenario. But if you have like MJ or Kobe, for some of those that have that, this isn't going to change that. I will say this. You got to give the man his credit. 27 plus points for 20 damn years is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's insane because he's still going. Going. So I posted something where I said, hey, no debate. This isn't, because you know how guys always want to debate and fight and whatever you say, someone comes in and says you're crazy wrong. No, I posted 3.5 minutes of the history of LeBron from 0 as a kid to draft night to like everything. First point, some points in the middle, his 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000, right into his last basket. And 3 minutes. And I said, don't debate it. Don't fight me. Don't call anybody hate. No, just enjoy, just appreciate this 3 minutes of this guy who is like, I don't care if you have him 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. I don't care where you have him. The fact that he's in your top whatever tells you, right, how incredible of an athlete and basketball player he is, and you have to give him his respect. And I said this to you guys before. We did it for Kareem. I didn't like Kareem. Kind of didn't like Kareem. But we still celebrate the records. A lot of people didn't like Barry Bonds. When he breaks the home run record, you still celebrate his record, right? Like when things like this happen, you have to appreciate what you're fortunate enough to watch, because some people don't get to see stuff like this. Like this is an incredible, I think you said it once, there's people alive watching this show right now who haven't lived in a world where LeBron James wasn't in the NBA.
It's a generation. It's a generation of kids that don't know the NBA Finals without LeBron James. There's a generation of kids that don't know that. Crazy. That's a fact. Not only that, and to expand on your logic a little bit more, Tone, with the number 24. What's 2 plus 6, Tone? What's 2 plus 4? I'm sorry.
2 plus 4 is 8.
No, not 2 times 4.
2 plus 4 is 6. I'm sorry.
2 plus 4 is 6. What number does James wear?
It's getting crazier. The script is real.
So
kind of wish.
I just think that when we're talking about a guy that's a scorer, right? We have to recognize that when you do something for a long time at a high level, that it matters. Like, I can't stand when I have to listen to people tell me, well, that's just a longevity stat. Since when do we criticize people for doing something for a long time at a high level? Right? That's like
a longevity stat. No, a longevity stat is Vince Carter's game played, Kevin Willis, AC Green, the Iron Man. Those are longevity stats. And even if that's true, though, and even if that's true, Tone, how are we criticizing a dude for showing up to work 11 straight years? No, yeah.
Every day we showing up to work 11 straight years. And for this guy to do this for as long as he was doing it, man, at the level that he was doing it, I'm having a difficult time seeing anybody. The person that I was thinking about right now, Tone, when you was explaining it, I was thinking about Fluent Jr. And I'm thinking to myself, Fluent Jr., are you going to be able to see another guy score 40,000 points in your lifetime? Is that going to happen? Because I'm thinking about all the great records in sports. I was around when Pete Rose broke the all-time hits record. I ain't going to be allowed to see somebody else do that. That's never going to happen. I don't think I'm going to be allowed to see somebody break Jerry Rice's 22,000 yards receiving record. I don't think I'm going to be allowed to see that. So when I think about LeBron James, I think that that's going to go in the category with these all-time greats. And I just don't think that that's going to happen again in my lifetime. And I just think it should be celebrated more than what it actually is going to be.
Speaking of Fluent Jr., go to the Player's Choice TikTok page and give his post, give it a like, give it a view, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He got clipped in the most recent Player's Choice one where he said the best player in the NBA right now, Luka Doncic, and I
did see that. I did see that.
Bed with no dessert. All right, so we're gonna start. It's gonna start easy. So we're gonna.
Okay.
Sorry, you had something. Sorry. You had said about the significance of the night. Was that did we talk about that enough, or was there?
Well, here's the thing, though, Tone. I
did
did see, a lot of people were talking to me about how, Anthony Davis's body language and
it was not good.
Yeah, Anthony Davis's body language, Russ turning the basketball over, Schroeder turning the basketball over. I'm gonna be honest with you. Schroeder turned the basketball over early in the fourth quarter. I turned the game off. I didn't even know that they lost. I didn't know that they lost until the next day because I couldn't watch anymore. The Lakers, Tone, I don't understand why I don't hear more from you about how garbage your team is. H will actually talk about how trash the Warriors are. You, on the other hand, I think you've been a little bit too silent about how trash your team is, Tone, and how less critical you've been of this group, how it's been put together, number one, and how they perform. Because this team has been garbage, Tone.
Why would I want to bring that up?
Why would I want to talk about?
Why would I want to talk about that? We did talk about when you said they're the worst team in the NBA.
I think they're the worst team, Tone.
I think you forget. I criticized their roster. I told you how much I hated the Russell Westbrook trade. And look, and this isn't on Russ. This is just on the fit, right? How I feel like they didn't put a good team around. They didn't put a good team around him. There's a reason why, and this is no disrespect to Darvin Ham, but there's a reason why a big name proven coach didn't want to coach this team.
Tyler did not want that job. No,
there's a lot of things that I just didn't want to beat a dead horse. They weren't a good team. They weren't a good roster. It was a bad makeup. They played poorly. They didn't remember at the beginning of the year, like they were the worst shooting team maybe like in the history of basketball. Like I feel like a team in the 60s could have shot better than they were shooting. They couldn't hit water from a boat.
Then they start like 1-11 and some garbage like
horrible. That. and then AD got healthy. And this is what turned it for everybody. AD got healthy and they started winning a bunch of games and he was playing out of his mind. And what did I say?
Trade him.
I said trade him because he's going to get hurt again. What happened? He got hurt again. So it wasn't that I'm beating a dead horse. If everybody's already saying how bad they are, as I left it alone. I will say this. We're going to get to it. I like some of the moves they made.
Okay.
I like some of the moves they made.
I do too.
And we're going to talk about it. So we're going to play. I do want to say something funny, though. Did you notice when LeBron made his shot, like everybody wasn't even watching him? They were watching their phones.
Oh, I saw that picture.
Everybody except Phil Knight was like this with their phone.
And then they showed the time when
Jordan hitting that shot in Utah. Not one. Now, granted, no, we didn't have a lot of phones back then.
Yeah,
nobody had their phones out.
Though it's really sad. I mean, we work in sports, so it's a little different. But like, if I was there, why are you not just? It's gonna be on Twitter before it even happens.
Well, I'm probably doing both. I probably have this. I'm holding this, but I'm still. I want to see it with my own eyes. Yeah,
you're not looking through your phone. It's sad, man.
Like, so that was the one thing I did notice.
Follow me.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But I will say the the body language, Anthony Davis not even standing up, regardless of the reason, looked really, really bad. It looked really, really bad.
I just want to know what it's about, though, Tone, more than anything, because it's really difficult to read between these two guys because on the one hand, they seem like they get along just fine. But we also got to remember, too, this is a working relationship. We got to remember that part, too. This is a working relationship. These are two guys who work together. And in the process of them working together, it's not going to always be grand. There's going to be times when, I don't like you very much and I don't like you neither. And it doesn't help right now that their team isn't very good. I mean, Tony, in 13th place, and that game was a big game. That was
I heard this driving in today. Let me get your thoughts on it, and then we're going to get to where in the world is Carmen Sandiego and all the other stuff. Why do you guys care how old? Everyone's asking how old we are. Oh, how are you? Oh, how are you, Fluent and Chill? Oh, we're good.
They want to know how old you are.
How old are Fluent and Chill? Oh, please answer. Joe L is obsessed. Yo, hit us up with a super chat. We'll answer. So I was listening to, I want to say, I believe it was NBA Live, the NBA channel on Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what if the moments are just too big for AD? Because the last time we saw AD really, really for a long stretch of time perform well was in the bubble, where there was no crowd, where there was maybe less pressure on him to perform in front of people, and he played incredible. And maybe, like, could it be the I am not saying this before the chat jumps down my throat. I'm not. This is what the person said, and it got me to think.
Yeah.
Could that be a thing? Like, he's just not good in front of when it's big game situations?
No, I disagree with that. And the
reason why I've seen him perform really well in a big game situation in the NBA.
Absolutely. How about in the 18 season when that team swept Portland out of the playoffs and he was basically 30-14 in that series? And then when they played against New Orleans, when they played against Golden State, now he performed really well. Golden State was just better than them, right? And then before COVID happened, he was having one of his best seasons. He was leading the Lakers in points, rebounds, and blocks. And they were rolling until COVID dropped, and he was doing just fine when the crowd was in the arena. I personally think the bubble was the toughest ring one of the toughest rings that they've ever had to deal with. And the reason why I feel like that is because we're talking about being completely isolated. Not only being completely isolated, we're talking about being away from your family, and all I have to do is concentrate on basketball, which sounds like a good idea. But when you don't have the other things outside, where I have a routine where on game day I get with my family, or I eat certain things, or if we're on a road, I eat certain things and I sleep a certain way. But now I'm isolated from everything and everybody, and all I have to do is concentrate on basketball. And that could be detrimental to a lot of guys' psyche, only except it wasn't for him.
But he performed really well. That's why they asked the question. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff to go through. The reason Hailey looks like she's at a retirement home is because she's the one that gives us our pills. Here we go. So it's gonna start easy. It's gonna start
waiting for my prescription too, H Boogie. I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I got you guys. I got you.
I can't take it too early. I can't take it. It makes me sleepy. All right, I'm gonna start easy. Mike Conley.
This is, what are we saying?
This is where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? You need to say the team. You and Chill, whoever says it faster wins. Mike Conley.
Okay.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Ding. Hold on, let me get my correct. Mo Bamba.
Lakers, LA.
Kevin Knox.
New York.
Nope.
Oh wait, he left. I lost my chance.
He left Detroit. I think he's in Golden State.
Nope.
No, that's
Atlanta.
No, he's not in Atlanta. He's not in Atlanta. Sadiq Bey went to Atlanta. Wiseman went to Detroit, and Kevin Knox, I think he did go to Golden State.
No, because we tossed him off to the Blazers.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's in Portland. Okay.
Yeah, for 16 minutes, and then we sent him on his way.
You got the next one. You got the next one early, which was Sadiq Bey, who is in Atlanta.
I thought that's what I woke up to. I woke up kind of late today, but I woke up to Sadiq Bey, and I was like, okay, like I'm cool with that. And then he was gone. All right.
Matisse Thybulle.
Blazers.
Yeah.
Ooh, quick. Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl the Turtle.
He's back in Toronto.
Yeah.
George Hill.
He's back in Indiana.
Bones Highland.
He's with the Clips.
This might be a clean sweep.
It might be.
And that's it. That's the last one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The
That's
little guys.
Very, very well done. All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. Why don't we do this? We're gonna take a couple super chats, and then we're gonna play. Give Get ready, super chatters. We're gonna get to super chats right now. Some of them, not all of them. We're gonna get to all of them tonight. But after we do some super chats, get ready. We're gonna play. I feel like Future from 8 Mile. I don't know what's gonna happen. We have a minute and a half. We're gonna play Smash or Pass. Here we go. All right, let's start from across the pond because he's giving us pounds. Jerry Reinsdorf, owner of the NBA Bulls fans, should protest, not go to games, affect stock. Jerry said he would trade 6 rings plus want to scam people, no tax.
I don't get it.
No.
Adrian, I have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
I don't understand.
Even though Jerry Reinsdorf wasn't the guy who broke up the Bulls, that would be Jerry Krause. Jerry Krause was the one. Jerry Krause was the one who broke up the Bulls. Yes. And here's why Jerry Krause broke up the Bulls. Tone, let's be honest. If Jerry Krause and Phil Jackson get along, Phil Jackson comes back. If Phil Jackson comes back, Jay comes back. If Jay comes back, Scotty comes back. If Scotty comes back, everybody else comes back. But the problem is Jerry Krause and Phil Jackson couldn't get along. So once the reason why Jordan quit in 98 was specifically because of my coach. He didn't quit because he didn't still have the goods. He didn't quit because he was injured.
No, he quit because he wanted to run it back for Pete.
Right.
And they didn't. They wanted to trade Pippen for McGrady. They wanted to get in a new coach. They wanted, and let's remember, how did that team do in that lockout season?
Garbage. They was the worst team in the league.
Worst team ever.
Yeah,
had the worst. You know, they had the worst game in the history of the NBA.
Yes, they did. I think they scored 60 points against the Miami Heat that year.
48, something like that. And the lowest field goal percentage ever in a full NBA game.
Yeah,
it was nasty.
Terrible.
KD dunking on Fluent again. I don't think so. They were horrible with Tim Floyd as coach. Could you imagine? Okay.
And of course, I understand Jordan's logic with that. Yo, we just came off for winning the NBA championship 3 straight years. I'm not playing for no college coach.
And this is why I never. Say, when anyone says, and you can attest to this, when people say, "Oh well, LeBron left Cleveland and went to Miami," and I always say, "What? Good for him," because they weren't doing him any favors in Cleveland. Good for him.
They were not. They were.
Okay.
Thank you, Adrian Shake. If you can explain that.
Thank you, Adrian.
Know what that means.
Yeah.
Armis Jones. I didn't see you last week, Armis. Good to see you, brother. Brendan Ingram been cooking this past couple of games. Yeah, when he's playing, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
30 on the Hawks and the Lakers. Thoughts on BI? He back?
When we first were talking about KD getting traded, the team that I wanted to call up I wanted to call up New Orleans and ask for Brandon Ingram because I think that he would have been a perfect fit in Brooklyn to build around because he is buckets. I thought that he would have been a perfect fit to build around, and I think that for KD, I think New Orleans would have handed him over. But the problem was that because Ben Simmons is still on the roster, and you can't have a rookie. That thing gets really tricky. But Brandon Ingram, one of the best scorers in the game. If he could stay healthy, no question about it, he's awesome.
Yeah, agreed. BI is definitely one of my favorite younger players and young-ish players. And I just want to see him stay healthy. I hate seeing these guys sit out for so long, especially missing Zion. But should be good. They got a bright future.
All right, here we go. This might be help. Jerry doesn't want to pay luxury tax, but wants the Bulls to win, and the team is stuck in mediocrity because they don't want to pay for adequate coaching staff. There's no shooting plus development staff. Okay, that makes more sense. So what you're saying is Jerry's scamming the people. Listen, there's a lot of teams that do this. Don't be fooled. There's a lot of teams that are just good enough to give their fans hope because they know that means they'll buy tickets and buy into it, and their goal is not to win a championship, because if they win, then the expectation becomes, they need to win every year. But if you give them hope, Dallas Cowboys, if you want to be, for those in Canada, the Toronto Maple Leafs,
New York Knicks,
just good enough. The New York Knicks, just good enough to be like, they're gonna be good this year. They're gonna be, let's go see them. Let's go see them. Oh man, okay, next year's our year. That is a common thing.
Yes, it is.
That owners do, because they keep that bar at a level, not too high, but not too low that you don't stop watching. It's shady. I'm with you, Adrian. I see what you're saying there. All right, Gabe. Gabe, man, it was nice to see you on Dub's World last night. I went to the barbershop last night. I went to Dub's World.
Nice.
Where we talk about it's the barbershop talk. And it got a little. They were still on. I had to go to bed. It was past my bedtime, and they were still on apparently when the KD trade happened. Unfortunately, I missed it. How? It's my fault. I said give us a super chat. We'll tell you.
First of all, one of the things that I found out in life when it comes to women is 2 questions that you don't ask. You don't ask how old you are. You don't ask how much you weigh. So that's number 1.
Well, I don't think they're asking her.
Yeah. Number 2, just know that I'm a grown up. That's all you need to know. I'm a grown up.
Some things need to stay private.
Well, yes. I'll say this. So you say I look young because I'm 57. You might have to do math because. But
here's the thing.
I always add 10 years.
Jay, somebody asked if you saw Wilt break the record. So
I was not around when Wilt did that. Yeah. No, I wasn't. I'm not that old.
I happen to have this one just handy because when I do Fluent Figures, I had these figures for you guys. So, do you think you can name how many of the all-time scoring leaders do you think you can name?
How many of the all-time scoring leaders do I think that I can name? Only 3. James, Jabbar, and Chamberlain. Before Chamberlain, I think Mikan is one of them also. I'm looking at the first guy. I forgot his name, but I can only remember 4. Mikan, Chamberlain, Jabbar, and James.
I remember seeing the list. They posted it too when they were playing the game, that I can't remember.
They probably should have taken my list. So the first was Joe Fulks. I'm not going to say how I was going to pronounce his name. Fulks. From 46 to 52. He averaged 22 a game. Listen to this. He averaged 22.1 a game on 29.3 field goal attempts per game.
Yeah,
yikes!
That's gross.
Yikes!
Horrible. Not surprisingly, he was passed by George Mikan, who had it from 52 to 57, averaging 27 points per game. He did go back and forth though with folks 4 times. George Mikan's career high? Any guesses?
20.
No, he averaged 27.
Oh, I thought you said his career high
35.
What do you think his career high one game?
35.
His career high in one game, I'm going to say 45.
Haley?
35.
Unlike Kevin Durant, even George Mikan has a 60-point game.
Oh, really?
61 points was his my KD shot of the night. Then he was surpassed by Ed McCauley in 1957, who averaged 20.4 a game on 48.6% shooting, but he did it for a long time, which is why he passed him. Then you got your guy Dolph Shays from 57 to 63. 3 times, by the way, he led the league in free throw percentage, 84.9. And games played 4 times. So that again, it's that consistency that got it for him. And then you get into the guys you know. Or you missed this one, Bob Pettit from 63 to 66, who had played for 11 seasons, 20 points per game, 31.1, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. I did miss Bob Pettit. Bob Pettit was the all-time leading scorer.
And then Wilt, Kareem, and of course,
LeBron James. We got more super chats.
Let's do a couple more,
and then we'll do smash or pass.
And then smash or pass, and then we got
trades.
Smash or pass is the trades, but then we're gonna do some more of our trades. Yeah. All right. So where were we? We said Gabe's. Mr. Jones and me. You guys don't know that song. I think AD just has an issue with feeling like the Lakers are his team. He's great when he gets in the mood. The issue is I think he gets injured so much he tries not to push himself too much because every time he does, it's an injury. People forget.
Well, here's the thing about that.
There's more to this. People forget AD was playing great before his most recent injury during that stretch. Bron was out.
Yes, he was playing great like that. But I mean, you know the old saying: if you think this is going to happen, it's going to happen. And if you think you're going to get hurt, odds are you're going to get hurt. So you can't play like that. And I think that's one of the major problems that AD is having. If he's going to play gingerly, then he's going to ultimately get hurt. And that's why you got to turn your brain. Like Giannis don't play like that. James doesn't play like that. A lot of these guys don't play like that. So
I think that's true. You have to overcome it, but at the same time, like it's in there, like especially when you get hurt on a consistent basis, like he does, and he does have a much different body type than even Giannis and those guys. So I think that has to be something like you said, Jay, he has to unlearn that fear. It's just really tough when it's the last stretch he's had. It's been a minute, so
even if that's true though, H. So
listen, I know I only minored in psychology, but it sometimes never leaves you. Like I tell everybody. So for me, for example, I came down very awkwardly on someone and tore all the ligaments in my arch, my Achilles, and my ankle. Scared to jump ever since. Derrick Rose, if you remember, after his injury, there was 2 years where they were saying he was healthy and he just wouldn't play.
Right.
It was mental. There are some times where you just can't get over it, and you either change the way you play, or you just continually get injured, or you just stop playing. Unfortunately, there's just so much that mind thing that even if you think it's okay, it's still subconscious. So I think he's there. Like he has to go out and play hard, but I don't know, just not there. But yeah, I think AD. That's why I keep saying, and it's such a huge if AD's healthy now, this team is really, really good. It's just
he's not going to be
enough.
Before we move on, what do you guys honestly, when you look at his past and kind of where he is now, do you think AD will be in the league for the next 5 years? Yes or no?
No.
I think he will be. I think he will be in the league for 5 more years, but I think it's going to be like Dwight Howard, right? Where he's going to kind of be this guy that goes in or DeMarcus Cousins, where he's a hired gun to try and help take a team over the hump, because they're all going to say, if he can stay healthy, like DeMarcus Cousins, look, his career is better than DeMarcus Cousins, but in the sense that people kept giving Cousins chances because they're like, man, when he's healthy, he can do everything for a big. And if he gets a couple more injuries, that's what he's going to turn into is, can we get him for 40 games? Can we get him for a playoff push?
Yeah.
And because you can't trust him to be your star guy.
That's fair.
Exactly.
Unless he shows you he can.
But I don't think he's going to be a starter on a larger market team for 5 more years. I hate to say it. I love AD so much, but I don't think he's going to. I don't think
as a starter, as a starter and being one of the lead guys, if you're talking 5 more years, no, I don't think so. But if he's going to be a lesser starter, and even like DeMarcus Cousins, where he's a rotation guy, I think he can stick around a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's what I say. I think
his minutes will get lesser.
His minutes will get
lesser. Yeah, I think his minutes will get lesser.
Talent, right? You gotta hopefully use what you can and let him play the game. But okay.
Okay, next one, right? Yeah. We'll try to get through about half of these, and then we'll get to Smash or Pass. Angie Carr with the super chat. Someone has tested and successful as Greg Popovich, and the respect that he has from the league's current greats. When a star decides against being coached by him, does that say more about Pop or about the stars avoiding him?
I think it's the latter more than it's the. I think it's the latter more than it is the former, and the reason why is because the proof is in the pudding with Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich has shown that he can change with the time. I mean, he coached the Olympic team, and those guys on the Olympic team, they love him. So it's not like it's a situation where Greg Popovich has coached other teams and they're like, yo, we hate this dude. Now, everybody is not going to love Coach Pop, right? But more people love him than they hate him, right? So for a guy that's why I was really hoping that Wiseman ended up in San Antonio, because I think with Pop, Pop can really help his game. I think Pop can really expand his game. And the proof is in the pudding with Pop. So for him, with Coach Popovich, and with him, I think it says a lot about players who don't want to play for him more than it says about him.
So I'll say, here's my political answer of the night. I will say it's both. If it's one player and that player has a history of having issues with coaches, then okay, it's not Pop. But if you get a couple of players now, then you have to start to question, has the game passed Pop? Because there will come a point where he doesn't relate to the players anymore, where the players they tune him out quicker. And if that starts to be more than one guy, then it might be time for Pop to step down. Like when who was the guy in Utah, Jerry Sloan, but who was the player? I always forget.
Darren Williams.
When that happened, right? I think there was already the writing on the wall that it might be, Jerry Sloan his time may have passed.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the last straw. I think with Pop, I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah.
All right, where were we? Okay, we'll try to do like 3 more and then do smash or pass. Double P, Northeast Ohio, Cavs fan here. I enjoyed the trade deadline, but my Cavs were silent today. LeVert is fine, but I wish we could have gotten some better shooting at the 3. Thoughts on my Cavs in the Eastern Conference?
I swear it's like Cavs in Miami really didn't do anything.
If Dub is listening, Dub was supposed to join for a minute. I don't know if he's coming or not. Dub, you and your Heat should be ashamed of yourselves. You did nothing. You sat on your hands. Yeah. Oh, horrible.
Horrible. Well, first of all, with this Cavs squad, they're building this team the right way. They got Darius Garland in the draft, Jared Allen in the draft. They got Okoro in the draft.
Trade.
Mobley
Allen was a trade.
Who?
Wasn't Allen? Didn't they get him from the Nets?
Jared Allen was a trade. Okoro was in the draft. I'm sorry. Yeah. Mobley was in the draft, right? Wade in the draft. So a lot of these, they're building this team the right way. The thing about the Cavs, all of a sudden, James has made you guys think that now we got to be like everybody else instead of exactly what the Warriors were doing, exactly what the Celtics were doing. When they built it through the draft, and in the process of them building it through the draft, they become better every year. And then now you guys, before you know it, you're competing for the NBA championship. Now, if you want to break up this unit and move off of Mobley and you think that you can get something better for him and that makes you a contender, have at it. But that could completely destroy the dynamic of your team. I like what Cleveland is doing. We're building that young core and becoming contenders soon enough. And not just becoming contenders soon enough, staying contenders for a long time as opposed to something that's just going to be right now. I'm good with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, go ahead, Hailey.
It was just exactly what I said at the beginning of the season when Donovan Mitchell was traded to the Cavs, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, we're going to win a championship," and I said, "I believe you will. I don't think it'll be this season. I think it's a season or two out. But why would you mess that up? Interfere with that chemistry that you are building now, and see how it plays out. And I think it's gonna be great in a season or two. So." Yeah. Honestly, some of the teams that did less trades actually might be the more successful, but we'll get to
the quick fixes sometimes work, but they only work in the short term. The teams that build the right way, like the Cavs are doing, are built for long-term success, right? Yes, the Warriors bring in KD, they win 2 chips, sure, but it's 2 chips and then it's over. Now, granted, the Warriors also built it the right way too. Like they actually were the one franchise that did both at the same time. The Heat, right? They bring in Bosch and LeBron to add to Wade. Yeah, they go to the finals 4 straight years. They win 2 of them, and then they're gone. They're done, right? So it's whereas you see the teams that build have more sustained success. They might not win a bunch of championships, but I think the Warriors are the model you should. Hey, they got lucky a little bit with Curry and Clay and Draymond. Let's be honest, but hey, that's what it takes sometimes is to build that up. People forget the Warriors weren't a destination that people wanted to go,
which is crazy too, Tone, because Golden State, I mean, the Bay Area, I think it's a top 5 market in the NBA. Nobody wanted to play up there.
What people like mentally associated it with, so they're like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, nobody wanted to play up there. Nobody.
Well, because they were in Oakland. And no disrespect, have you been to Oakland?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The old stadium one is in Oakland.
I was up there. I've been up there a couple times.
Like when I lived in Walnut Creek, which is like a nicer suburb, right? I would drive through Oakland as fast as I could to get to the bridge to get to San Francisco. Like it was not a place I wanted to hang out. They're working on it, but I feel bad. Oakland could be great again. But anyways. Let's see. FIFA boy, Fluent. If the Raptors and Lakers went to the finals, who are you going for? Oh, Lakers. No, Lakers. It's actually not even. It's not a question. I am a Lakers. Yeah, I am a Lakers fan first and foremost. I'm a Raptors fan because of birth. Because I was born in Toronto. Because I was born in Toronto. I live in Toronto again now after a long hiatus. And because starting in March, I'm gonna be sitting in press row. So I'm gonna write about the Raptors and talk a lot about the Raptors. Shout out to the Raptors and to MLSE for letting me sit courtside.
Yeah. Let's go.
Drink more water. Can you read that one?
Yeah. Which small move did you like the most? Crowder to the Bucks, Scala to the Celtics, Bay to the Hawks, Gordon to the Clippers, or PG2 to the Warriors? Oh, GP2.
You mean Gary Payton?
Yeah. Oh, you guys know who mine is for real. Like, I don't know why we had to go through the whole roundabout way to let him rehab in Portland and then let him come back to the Bay. But I'm so stoked. I think his defense, kind of like when Jimmy G came back in the game after Trey had started. Is he like the best individual player in the world? Hell no. But did his presence and spirit like totally change the atmosphere? Hell yeah. So that's how I feel about Gary. Yeah. The rest, Bay could be good too.
But do you like that they gave up? What was going on with second round picks?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think they trade. We're gonna get like 50. Sorry, hey moderators, can I get your help here in the
52s?
50 second round picks. Like that's crazy. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm trying to do moderation. Moderators, please. Gabe, I see you there, bro. Come on, man.
Yes.
All right, so let me answer this question. I figured you'd like Gary Payton. I like Jay Crowder to the Bucks because him and what's his name?
Wiseman?
No, on the Bucks. The guy that was supposed to replace PJ Tucker, Bobby Portis. I think him and Bobby Portis give him that Portis and PJ Tucker dirty work rotation. There's always going to be one of them on the court that I think that Bucks team really, really needs. And so I really like that move. And I think Crowder had a chance to play with LeBron, but it didn't mesh. I think he's going to mesh much better with this team. So I think it's a good move for him and for them.
Yeah. I also think that it gives them some more offense that they do need. And I think it gives them the toughness that they didn't have also. I mean, I think they're already a tough team, but I think that it gives them even more toughness. I think it expands their offense. Jay Crowder wanted a bigger role offensively, and I think that he's going to get that on that Milwaukee squad. So to give up 5 twos, essentially what you're telling everybody is we don't think that anybody over the next 5 years is going to be better than Jay Crowder in the second round. And I'm cool with that. I love Gary Payton back to the Bay, though.
No, I like that one too. Assuming they can make a playoff push, he's important. He was important last year. I was surprised. They let him go.
Yes.
That's the one we already said.
Okay, Michael Long Brown, thank you for your super chat. Call me crazies. Lakers got worse. I'm sad.
I don't think that they got. No, I don't think they got worse. I don't like the Howard Bryant trade, giving him to Denver. I don't like that. Right. And I'm not a huge Mo Bamba guy, but I think that this could be an opportunity for Mo Bamba to expand on what I think he should have been, which is I think Mo Bamba should have been a double-double guy. He should have been one of the better rim protectors in the game. Just like what Claxton is, Mo Bamba should be a better version of that, except he could score. That's what I think Mo Bamba is. No, so now
I think you're going to see that from Mo Bamba. And I think the reason they made those two trades were connected. Bryant's out because Mo Bamba was coming in. Mo Bamba was asking Thomas Bryant was asking for the ball more. He was asking to have a bigger role. Right. And I'm sorry, on this team, you're not going to get it. And so Mo Bamba's going to come in, I think, with a lesser expectation. So that's why it made sense. Because at first, when the Bryant trade went down, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why the heck would they do that? Right. And then when the Mo Bamba trade, I went, oh, okay, that's why they did that. Okay.
And also what it also does too, Tone, is getting off of Bryant. I mean, his contract is expired. And moving off of, and we'll get to Russ in a little bit, but moving off of Russ, they get another first-round pick from Utah. So I think I don't think that they get worse. I think that with Malik Beasley and Vanderbilt, I think that expands their wing presence. Plus with Rui. Now, again, I don't particularly believe that the Los Angeles Lakers are a championship caliber team, but I do not think that they got worse. I do think that these trades help them.
I agree.
All right. We might just have to go to Smash or Pass after this. Put it on vinyl. Go ahead.
What did you think these players would be versus what they turned out to be? Jimmy D. Wade, Tariq Evans, LaMarcus Aldridge, Boogie, Kaminsky, and LBJ.
So there was no expectation for buckets because he was the last pick in the first round, so he was going to be developed. I didn't think that he'd be in the conversation as the best two guard in the game, but he was for a stretch. It was him and Clay. So I didn't think that he would be that good, but I did think that he would be good. Dwayne Wade, when I saw him, I said that the Miami Heat got their two guard for the next 10 years. I was impressed with him right from the beginning. I thought that he would be a franchise player. Tariq Evans, I thought that he would be better, you know, winning Rookie of the Year in Sacramento and being that good, considering how good the Western Conference was during that time. I thought that he would have been a lot better than what he was, and I was surprised that he didn't turn out to be better. LaMarcus Aldridge became one of the better power forwards in the game that I thought that he would also be great. Because again, when I watched him at Texas, I thought that he would be buckets, Tone. He wasn't a guy that I was looking at thinking to myself, I think that he'll be more of a dirty work guy. I thought that he would be buckets, no question about that. Boogie, I didn't think that Boogie would be that good. And I was surprised that he turned out to be that good. And the reason why I felt like that, Tone, is because I didn't think that he loved the game. But his talent was so much overpowering over everybody else. And because of injuries, that kind of slowed him down. I thought that he would be I didn't think that he would be as good as he was, but he turned out to be a lot better. Kaminsky, I thought Kaminsky was going to be a lot better than what he was. Kaminsky was an all Big Ten performer. Team was in the Final Four. I thought that he was going to be a lot better coming into the NBA. He looked like the consummate stretch four. And the fact that he didn't turn out like that, maybe it was the system that he was in. Maybe there was a work ethic thing. I'm not really sure. And LBJ, I thought that LBJ would be a franchise player to help teams win championships. Did I think that I would be having a conversation or even fix my face to say this dude is the best that I've ever seen? No way.
And I'll go in reverse order and faster because we have a lot to get to. LBJ, yeah, I thought generational talent, superstar, all that kind of stuff. But I agree. That's why I say what he did was so phenomenal. He exceeded the expectations. I thought he would. I didn't think he was going to be a bust. I know some people now are, I thought he was going to be. No, you're lying. But I did not. I knew he'd be a great player.
Mm-hmm.
Never to this level. As far as the other guys, Kaminsky, not. I thought pretty. I'm pretty low on people, but there's names that stick out. So I'll say the ones that stick out. LaMarcus Aldridge, I thought was going to be great, and I was pissed because the Raptors drafted, I want to say, Andrea Bargnani that year, first overall, and I was like, dude, LaMarcus Aldridge, pair him up with Bosch, Twin Towers, dude. Like, what are you doing? I thought that would have made more sense versus what they thought Bargnani was going to be the new stretch, 4-5 to play alongside Bosch.
I thought Bargnani was going to be a lot better, Tone. I did. I did. I
don't want to say what I thought, but it wasn't kind. Tariq Evans really disappointed, especially after his first season. Like, I thought he was going to be really good too.
Yeah.
Wade, I thought was going to be a bust.
Really?
Really, Tone?
Wow.
Because people were saying, because the way that he played, he's like a little shorter Jordan. Like, because if you remember, there was like a stretch of like 20 years where it's like the next Jordan, the next Jordan, the next Jordan. He's not that dude, right? I saw him at Marquette. I was like, so he definitely surprised me. And then Jimmy Butler, I really had no expectations because he was such a late kind of pick that I don't think anybody
definitely exceeded expectation, no doubt.
All right, so we're gonna get back to your super chats in a moment. Here we go. Smash or pass.
All right.
I'm gonna give you a trade.
Hey, you guys in the chat do it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the chat, I want you all to hit it up. Smash or pass this trade. Smash, of course, means you love it. Pass means not so much. What do you? Please get a new name. What, my name? Fluent? I don't understand. What do you keep J-Rock? I don't understand. Change what name, bro?
What's your name on here? Is it something?
I don't know. It's nothing.
Okay.
I don't have anything on here. Oh, it's at sports.
Oh, he doesn't like what the game's called.
Of this game. Oh, he doesn't like the name Smash or Pass. Oh,
no.
Oh, well. Hey, you know what, J-Rock? Give us a better name. I don't care. I don't mind. So here we go. And this is just February trades. Because we don't want to go too far back. So let's start with the first one that kicked this all off.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris to the Mavericks for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, 2029 first round and 2 second round picks.
Smash. Smash.
Yeah.
Hit or miss, bing or bong. People really don't like Smash or Pass. Well, too bad. We're playing Smash or Pass. It's our show. You want your own name? Get your own damn show.
Okay,
Bing
everyone
bong.
agrees.
I'll I'll
Everybody's
probably
saying.
give you one. Everyone's saying
Everyone's
smash on this
saying
one? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip some of the smaller trades, of course. We are going to go through the trades fast. Do you want to go through all the trades or just do the smash or pass for the big ones?
Do them
What you
for
got,
all.
Tom? Yeah,
Let's
whatever
do
you got,
All right,
Tom.
all right,
Yeah,
so
whatever you got.
all right, speed round. All right, I'm just going to go through all the trades then. Dwayne Dedman for cash, San Antonio and Miami. Dwayne
Smash.
Dedman goes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is the biggest one that the Nets made. This is the biggest one. Okay, fine. What did you give me, J-Rock? Tell me the damn name you gave me, J-Rock. I'm so angry right now. All right, I did ask for it. What are we calling it? Bing or bong? What do you pass or fail? Okay, pass or fail. Oh my god, we're PG here.
Yeah. So that one
Pass
was
is
pass.
pass is good, fail is bad. I'm still saying smash or pass. The biggest one to happen, trade deadline, just for the record. It's the Sacramento Kings get Kessler Edwards, and Brooklyn gets the draft rights to David Michinu.
I didn't hear that one.
All right,
Smash.
next one.
Yeah,
Next
let's
one.
go.
I'm gonna go through all of them.
Smash.
Fluent or opposite
You
fluent.
do
Yeah, that's the best name right there. Call it fluent or opposite fluent. Minnesota. All right, Minnesota gets. Oh, this is a three-team deal. So the Lakers get D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, who I love.
Mhm.
Me too.
Minnesota gets Mike Conley, Nikhil Alexander Walker, 3 second-round picks, 24, 25, and 26. Utah gets Westbrook, excuse me, Juan Toscano Anderson, Damon Jones, and the 2027 first-round pick.
So they get a buck. So Utah gets a first round pick and a bucket of extra crispy. Smash.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
Because Russ is not playing a minute in Utah. Let's make sure we clear on that. He's not going to play 1 minute up.
Can I just say, do you think this is going to be the biggest buyout market too?
Yes.
Ever?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, Tone. Yes, it is.
Okay.
The buyout market might be bigger than
Travis Williams said we should call this fluent or dub. Fluent is good, dub is
the buyout market might be bigger than the actual trade deadline.
It might be.
Yeah.
That's true. There's a bunch of guys kind of floating around. But Jay, where do you think Russ is going? Miami?
To be honest with you, I'm glad you brought that up, H, because there's a reason why the Los Angeles Clippers told John Wall that we straight, and they traded Reggie Jackson. Russ is going to be with the Clippers.
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%.
I don't think I like that. Okay. I was excited for him to go to Miami.
I agree with that.
I don't know why.
Let me say this. If it hasn't happened already, I already tagged the Houston Rockets in a tweet. Please free John Wall. He can't. Don't.
John Wall is not playing. He's not playing a one. No,
don't let him. Please, don't let him. That poor man. I feel so bad for him.
He's so miserable.
Of course, he's miserable. He pissed somebody off in LA. I don't know who. All right, next one. So we smashing that one, right? We love that trade.
Yes, I like it.
The Lakers got length. They got defense. They got shooting. The Lakers got everything they needed.
Yeah.
And let me say this. I loved the Lakers, the roster. Yeah. Now, until the next trade that I'm going to ask you about in a minute.
I know which one it is.
Yeah, not this one, but so we'll get to that one. We'll get to the KD. We're going to end it off on KD. Let's be honest, people. That we're going to get to his new super team because that's the only way he has a chance of winning. The Knicks pick up Josh Hart, which made Brunson very, very happy.
Yeah, they're absolutely. Boys. Yeah. College.
How close are they? Because that ain't a good enough player to make me that happy.
You didn't know that? They went to college together, Tony.
Yeah, they're boys.
Yeah, that's his man. No doubt.
And Josh Hart, I think they're both like pretty chill. I don't know. They both seem dope. Yeah.
Not only that.
So happy.
Yes.
I know.
Not only that, Tony.
It's like they traded for Luca though. Like I think he was a little excessive. No,
this is like his bro. Like it's not just like another dude. It's his bro.
Okay, I didn't know they were that close.
I thought that was when I love that trade.
All right. So Josh Hart to the Knicks. The Trailblazers get Cam Reddish, Ryan. I'm going to say his last name wrong. Archer Destacano, and a guy I think he used to play for the Raptors. Sivi Michaleluk. Philly Michichelli. I don't know what his name. Whatever.
I like it for the Knicks.
Yes.
Pass for the Blazers.
The Blazers got nothing, right?
The Blazers are.
It was Josh Hart for basically Cam Reddish and a bag of balls, right?
Yeah, basically.
All right, here we go. The Toronto Raptors bring back Jakob Poeltl. If you have not played Poeltl, it's like Wordle, but for basketball players.
Yeah,
it's so much fun. But Jakob Poeltl comes back to Toronto. Toronto sends to San Antonio Cam Birch from Montreal, a Canadian. for a 2024 first round pick, and it's only
that.
protected for the first 7 or 6. So he could be, I believe, 7, 8, 9, 10, and
like a late lottery pick.
Oh.
like that part is a little wavy for me. And 2 second rounders.
Mm-hmm.
I like Pirtle back in Toronto. I'm smashing that, no doubt.
I did like that as well.
I am liking it.
I actually like that a lot because Birch when he played was good, but he didn't get a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
Pirtle is very, very, very efficient as a low post scorer, and that's one of the many things that this Raptor team is needed. So anyways, we'll talk about that later. All right, Kevin Durant and Bubble Braun, TJ Warren, to the Phoenix Suns for Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Jay Crowder, who they would later flip, 4 first round picks and a 2028 pick swap. That's a lot going on.
I'm smashing this for Brooklyn.
It was huge.
I'm smashing this for Brooklyn, Tone. This KD Kyrie experiment has been a ridiculous failure. So how can we salvage this? They got all their picks back. Every last one of them. They got all their picks back. We can start over, right? So in the process of us doing that, we ship KD out to Phoenix and we get back Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. So with that being said, I don't love this for Phoenix. You know why I don't love this for Phoenix, Tone? Who's our dirty work guys out there? I know what you're looking at with Chris Paul and Booker and DeAndre Ayton. Who's the guys? Where's Marcus Smart at, Tone? Where's Udonis Haslem at? Where's Horace Grant at? Where's AC Green at on that unit? Who's diving on the floor for loose balls? Who's in the huddle saying, yo, can you score the rest of the points? Okay, I'll stop this dude. Who's doing that?
No one.
I don't love this for Phoenix. I don't. I do not love this for Phoenix. I love this for Brooklyn, however.
Because the Suns bench was kind of... Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off. And on top of that, Tone, and you and me had this conversation before, you being a businessman, you can appreciate that. Getting KD and Kyrie off our roster, in addition to getting all our picks back, we completely sliced our tax bill in half. It goes down to $35 million, and we cut payroll. So now we're saving almost over $90 million on this deal, and we're getting back all our first round picks. So now we can actually build this thing like you're supposed to build it, as opposed to, as you talked about, Tone, where you're starting this, where you're picking this guy and you're trying to put together a super team, and it's some short-term logic.
Yeah.
I love this for Brooklyn. I do.
Yeah. The experiment failed horribly, which we all knew. We saw this from the get-go, and within a year's time, they got rid of Harden, Kyrie, and KD. So I love this for Brooklyn. I mean, I still think, even watching tonight, like, I was excited for them, and they haven't even gotten their guys yet. But, like, just getting those dudes out of Brooklyn, I love them each in their own way. But they are just so toxic. I call them, like, mean girls. When Kyrie and KD are there, they're like mean girls for real. Like, you don't want to be around them. And, okay, this is my hot take. I don't know if I 100% believe in it yet, but, like, is Ben Simmons going to stay? And is he going to be different without them, like, being there? Like, do you think
should have seen him tonight?
I did. I was watching him. And did you see, he was, like, leading. He was telling, like, Cam where to go. Like, it was a great game. So, and then you're on top of that, you bring in Mikal and all these dudes. Like, I don't know, Brooklyn. I'm excited for them. I mean, do I think they're going to win a chip this season? No, but I do like the unit now. So I'm
off the Ben Simmons train, Tone. Let's make sure we clear. I'm not on the No, I'm not on.
I might be.
Look like you're about to jump in with both feet after one game against the Bulls.
No, I'm not back on the Ben Simmons. I'm off the Ben Simmons train, Tone.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this. I like what Brooklyn is doing. I do. I'm sure. Yes, Tone, I'm sure.
Just to, like you said, Jay, to start kind of back at ground zero and see what they can do. At least they have options now rather than being tied to this gross thing that they had going on.
Tell me the truth. You're just excited because Ben Simmons attempted a 3.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Can you believe that he did that?
It's crazy. He's like,
he didn't make it.
No,
but he attempted.
It's a start.
But he's actually looking at the basket.
Yeah.
Let me
do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I told you Brooklyn was going to be a disaster, and it was, and a complete failure, and the worst case scenario of a super team, like completely exploding, imploding all at the same time. It was a disaster.
Yeah.
I think, You like the picks, sure. You like that they brought in a bunch of players, and look, they're going to be fine. They're not going to win anything. Cool. And if that's what you're happy doing in Brooklyn, in the biggest market in the country, then cool. Be nothing. Great. You got a bunch of players. Congratulations to Brooklyn. So I am passing the crap out of what they did. Yeah. I will smash the Suns because the Suns, in a league where you need a superstar to win, now have two. Now have two bona fide superstars. KD, if when healthy, this season has been the best, if not one of the best players in the NBA.
Wait,
so you got
Suns
KD.
Have two
what?
Superstars?
What?
The Suns have two superstars?
Yeah, do they not? Is Evan Booker not a superstar?
Devin Booker is.
I call him Evan. No, there's no D. There's no D. It's Evan. It's Evan Booker.
He's a star. He's a star.
No superstar.
He's not a superstar?
No, he's a star.
Hell no.
Superstar caliber player?
But he's still pretty young. What is he, 26?
Offensive?
No, he's been around for a while. He's like 27.
He's
27? Yeah, he's a star. He's been in the league since I think 15. So we're talking about like 7 years.
He's not a star offensive player.
He's a star.
He's a star.
Yes, no doubt about that. He's a star. Tone, when you talk about superstars,
okay,
fine.
KD's the only superstar.
Yeah, we're talking about something different.
Fine.
But
Fine. You're right, because I threw out the word super. Well, I meant superstar caliber, but okay,
I got you. Because
you know how I feel. There's only like 3 superstars anyways. So keep it for everybody watching. When I say superstar caliber, because everyone knows there's only like 3 in the game. All right. So they got Booker, KD, Chris Paul on his last legs. Your guy, Ayton.
Yeah.
And your dirty work question is great. Great question. Because what did we just finish saying 5 minutes ago? The buyout market is going to be huge. And that is where they're going to bring in all their role players, all their dirty work guys, all those guys who are doing what? Chasing a ring. They're gonna get bought out, and they're gonna be like they're gonna be scrambling. They're gonna go this Sunday to the Super Bowl, and they're not gonna leave. They're gonna sit in Phoenix and wait and say, "Please, can I be on your team too? Please, can I be on your team too?" Like I don't know if you ever went to the basketball court when you were like a little kid, and you're like you're 10, and like there's a bunch of like teenagers playing. You're like, "Can I play too?" Because you want to run with them.
I did do that. Yes,
just watch for a little and then get closer and closer.
Exactly. Yeah. You like creep up to. That's what's gonna be the buyout market. They're going to go to Phoenix for the Super Bowl. They're going to party. They're going to wake up a couple of days later and be like, well, I'm here. Might as well stay. So that's where they're going to get their dirty work guys. If Phoenix isn't your favorite to win the West right now, other than maybe Denver, I don't know what you're watching. Not me personally. I think it's the Lakers. But okay, let's get back to the smasher pass.
Well, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ace. What you got, Ace? What you got?
I didn't really know what I was going to say. I guess more just kind of, do you guys think that Ayton, how like that dynamic between the 4 will work? But I know we're going to come back to the trade.
Okay.
So we can do it next.
No, we're not coming back. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yeah, what do you guys think? Because like we know Ayton doesn't want to be in Phoenix, right? And I don't exactly know how this works, but I remember last season when they were talking about trading him to the Pacers for like Miles Turner and somebody. Right. Obviously, Phoenix ended up signing him and keeping him. But is there any possibility that he could still move on and they would like bring in somebody else, or do you think Ayton's there for the time for the rest of the season at least? And how will that work between them?
Here's the thing, H. Because he was a restricted free agent last year, he was able to go out and find his own deal and find out what he was worth. Well, the Phoenix Suns, they loved him. They just didn't love him at 180 million. They didn't love him at 195 million. Well, Indiana shows up and Indiana says, we got 133 million. Well, Phoenix goes, well, we love him at 133 million. Absolutely. We can do that. So because they did that, that worked for them. So now you're in a position where if you were going to move off of him, I think that this time would have been the best time to do that. Now, I think that they're looking at him with this group. I think they're looking at him with this group and seeing how this dynamic works. If it doesn't work, I think that they'll have an opportunity on draft night and over the summer to do something. But as of right now, I think he stays.
I do. Okay. I didn't. Let me. Yeah, everything you said correct. Yeah, absolutely. And I think they probably even told him go see what you can get, and we'll match it. Absolutely. If you can get 180 million, we'll match it. If you get 130 million, we're gonna match it. So I don't think he's as upset about staying in Phoenix as people thought. But I do want to get back to this because I feel like there's 2 camps. I feel like if LeBron James had joined the Phoenix Suns, everyone's calling it a super team. And the fact that it's KD and y'all love to protect this damn man, it's not a super team. Because if they were free agents and they came together in the offseason and it was like, oh, wow, Booker and KD and Chris Paul grabbed Ayton and joined forces, man, that's a super team. Because I'll tell you this Phoenix Sun team is more of a super team than Kyrie and KD were. And when they went to Brooklyn with no one, oh, it's a super team. How the hell is this not one?
Phoenix was just in the NBA Finals 2 years ago.
Are you
just
kidding
2 years
me?
ago? They was just in the NBA Finals.
I can't really speak.
With this core, by the way, with Ayton, with Book, and with Chris Paul, it was just in the NBA Finals 2 years ago. So now you put Kevin Durant on the crew. But if James did that, the eyes are rolling.
The fact that people in the chat and wherever else are making me protect LeBron James is pissing me off. So that being said.
And also, people are saying that Ayton and Chris Paul aren't all-stars. Okay, so maybe this season they're not. But like, why are you downgrading them to be no?
Yeah, all of a sudden,
maybe Ayton. All of a sudden,
the point guard.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the point guard. Okay. I'll also say this: I'm also super pissed. I don't care how old CP3 is. I'm also super pissed that the damn league blocked Chris Paul going to the Lakers.
Get over that already, Tom. Can you get over that already? David Stern, yes, he did put the kibosh on that. Can you get over it already, Tom?
No, I'll never get over it. I'll never get over it because one, Chris Paul would have had a chip, and two, Kobe would have had another one.
Yes, he would.
So this team is great. They are ready to roll. But I'll say this. KD in that legacy, man, he's again in a no-win situation. Because if again, this is not the general public, this will be his haters. If KD wins, they'll say, well, yeah, he went to a team with Booker and Ayton and Chris Paul and whoever else because they are going to bring in guys, trust me.
Yes,
and they'll be like, of course he won. He had the best team. He had the most talent, just like when he went to the Warriors. But if they lose, how the heck? Look what he did. Just like in Brooklyn, went to this super team. They will use that term, and I hate that term, so I'm using it purposely. Right. He went to a super team or created another super team and lost.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't leave. He's in a no-win situation, and for a guy who's not a big KD fan, I actually feel bad for him. Because he can't win. He can't win now because if he wins, like I said, just like the Warriors. And if he loses, just like the Nets. He sucks. I actually feel bad for him. So Dell, I know you're watching, man. Tell him I feel bad for him. Text him and say I feel sorry for him. It might be the only compliment he gets today.
I personally love KD. And I understand why he left the Warriors. I understand why he wanted to try to do it on his own. But then he says that he wanted to do this for his legacy or whatever. But then he joins two other stars. So be your own person. Go do your thing. And get it done and be a leader and make up for the things that you can. But when you decide to band with two dudes that they're historically non-reliable, then that's what happens. So I feel like if we could all see it coming, he probably had an idea. But anyways, as for KD, I dislike the Suns more than any other team in the league. I just don't like their attitude. I don't like how they run things. I can respect Devin's game for sure. And I like McHale, but I don't like that unit. So I don't know if this is going to work.
I'm going to be honest.
I don't think they're not the Warriors. The Warriors still. The Suns do not.
I don't deal with non-super chats, but I'm going to deal with this one really quick because DJ, if he doesn't know if Fluent, he's saying KD doesn't know that I exist. If he didn't know I existed, how come he's texting Dell and complaining about what I say? All right, DJ, shove it up your ass.
KD knows.
All right, next.
Hey, Steph.
What do we got next? Oh, Smash or Pass. We're still Smash or Pass.
Okay, David, I'm not just talking. Please ask any question, and I'm willing to answer.
Mike
I'm just giving my opinion.
The Boston Celtics get Mike Muscala. The OKC Thunder get Justin Jackson and 2 second-rounders.
I like it. I think Boston needed another guy to stretch the defense. I think
we're going fast. Smash or Pass?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to say pass. Smash.
Smash. All right. Thomas Bryant to the Nuggets for Devon Reed.
Love it. Definitely smash.
For both?
For Denver.
Do you like
and for your boys too, but there's still a bit of an incomplete because I need to see what happens with Mo Bamba.
Yeah, there's still more to come.
All right.
But yeah, good. It was good.
But I love it for Denver.
Triple threat. Matisse Thybulle goes to the Trailblazers. We talked about this one. Jalen McDaniels and 2 second-rounders go to the Sixers. Svi Mikhalechuk, I always say his name wrong. And 2 second-rounders go to the Hornets. a bunch of pieces,
I thought
right?
it was all right.
It's
I mean, the Hornets.
I like Tybalt to Portland though.
I do too. He's
I
not
do
really
too.
a scorer.
No,
He
Yes.
doesn't really
No.
score, but his
Right.
defense will be nice addition. And the Hornets, I don't know, man. Like, I hope it's good for them, but I really don't know.
Listen, I go back to the Thomas Bryant one. I do actually like that for the Nets or for the Nuggets, excuse me. Okay, we got another triple. Brooklyn Nets get 2 second rounders. The Pacers get George Hill and Serge Ibaka. And Jordan Noire, sorry, and 3 second rounders. Man, 50 second rounders got traded. And Milwaukee gets Jay Crowder. So we talked about that one already a little bit, right? We good with that one? We like that one.
Yeah.
And Serge got released too, by the way.
Already?
Yeah,
They already buy him out.
They're good on Serge.
All right, Chef Serge. If you haven't seen
funny.
Chef Serge, dude, go watch. He is hilarious.
He gets busy in the kitchen too.
And he asks them tough questions. Like I mean,
they're good. He's a good.
he asks some good questions while they're sitting there. Like they should know what they're getting into. But how you call yourself fluent? Because I am, bruh. Challenge me anytime. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I'm not fluent in names. Oh, you're absolutely correct. I cannot pronounce a last name.
And just so you know, H.
I can't even pronounce my own last name.
Just so you know,
That's why I say NGK. Yeah.
KD should still be in Golden State. There was no reason for him to go to Brooklyn. He had rabbit ears. Period.
Exactly. And
yes,
so and look what's happened. We would have been. Oh man, the Warriors.
I'm not gonna get you started. I'm not gonna get you started.
I'm glad because Steph was able to get that Finals MVP and that ring without KD, and people can't say anything more about his legacy. But KD can go off and do his own thing. But I'm not bitter. I really do love KD, and I just don't like the Suns. So it's hard. I would have rather seen him go to the Grizzlies than the Suns. Anywhere, the Celtics. But no, he had to go to Phoenix.
I will end my horrible last name pronunciation by telling you this. I have known Mrs. Fluent since we were 4. I still say her name wrong. Her last name wrong. Now, it's her fault. It has 13 letters. But anyways, Denver Nuggets, 2 second-round picks. The Clippers get Bones Highland. Bones Highland, who was supposed to be on Player's Choice, was supposed to be, but there's a scheduling conflict. So I'm assuming he's going to be on the show at some point on PC. You guys like that smash or pass?
I do like it. I like Bones in that rotation with the Clippers. Yeah, he's going to help them out a lot.
He hasn't been really used as much as they think he could be in Denver, so I like it for him.
Garrison Matthews, Bruno Mars, Fernando. I added in the Mars to Atlanta. Houston gets Justin Holiday and Frank, your guy, Kaminsky, and 2 second-round picks.
I mean, it's not blowing up my skirt, but all right. We'll take it.
It'll do.
Yeah, we'll take it.
I guess.
Atlanta gets Sadiq Bey. Detroit gets James Wiseman, and the Golden State Warriors, Kevin Knox, and 5 second-round picks. What are you gonna do with all those second-round picks?
Those we traded Knox and we gave the 5 picks to the Blazers for Gary.
We're gonna get to that one in a minute. Yeah. So do we like that initial trade and knowing what it led to?
I do.
I love it for Wise. I really do want him to have some experience in the league and to be used. And I think the Pistons could be a good place for him. I hope, but he's not going to get any playing time with Golden State. So we'll see.
That's a fact. She ain't lying. H, I'm telling you, H, this dude. I mean, the Warriors got me thinking Wise suck. They got me thinking he can't play.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the case.
You look like
that's your wife.
Yeah.
On, bro.
I don't. His wife is his wife is Greek. What Greek woman do you not know that's not a knockout? What are we talking about?
I love how you sound like surprised. Thanks a lot.
What Greek woman?
I don't think you could pull her.
I was in Greece. Every woman that I saw in Greece, I was like, every last one of them. So this isn't surprising at all.
Way to go. Okay.
What's next? We got Mo Bamba to the Lakers.
Yes.
I can't believe you're surprised. Mo Bamba to the Lakers we know Patrick Beverly.
It's probably more because of you, Tony. It ain't because of what she looked like. It's more like, wait a minute.
Oh, I know.
It's like you bagged her. What?
That's what I'm saying.
No.
We're working on it since I was 4.
Oh no,
took Tone some time, but he got it together.
I'm a good sales guy.
As you should. All right, so I like that one, I guess. Yeah.
You like that trade? Okay. Yeah. I like that trade a lot, actually. Let me see.
Pat, but is he really
Pat Bev's gonna get bought out, right?
In Orlando? Yeah, he went to Orlando.
No, he's going to get bought out, though. He's not going to play
Yes,
there.
I don't think he plays 1 minute in Orlando.
Where will he
No.
go?
Back to Minnesota.
Oh, you think Minnesota?
That's so
Yeah, I think
sad.
he liked it in Minnesota.
Dude,
Back
isn't
to
it
Minnesota.
crazy how many people just went back to where they were?
He loved they love him up there, H.
Yeah,
they-
no, he's
they-
like
they-
their
oh, they-
goat.
I think he really liked it, too.
And he liked it up
He's
there
their
too.
goat. Yeah.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Mhm.
I like it. All right, another one. Danny Green. Danny Green. Danny, where are you, Danny? Danny? Retire, bro. Retire.
It's about that time.
Danny Green goes to the Rockets. Eric Gordon to the Clippers with 3 second-round picks
Mhm.
and the rights to swap. And Memphis Grizzlies get Luke Kennard.
I love this for Memphis. I do. I love this for Memphis. Memphis is one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league, and to get Luke Kennard, I think he helps stretch the defense and he improves their long ball shooting. No question about that. I love this for them.
Yeah. No, they needed that for sure.
I love this for them.
I really I know Eric. Did you even remember that Eric Gordon was still in the league?
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
But
like,
no,
what's
but
the
I also like he was just toiling away in Houston. I think this
Houston,
actually is a
yeah.
good pickup for them.
Yeah.
I think
He's
he
gonna be-
needs
he's
it.
gonna be
He's
sneaky
always
because
been
he's
there,
gonna-
right?
He's gonna come off the bench, right? He's gonna come
Yes.
off the bench and he's
Yeah.
gonna be a bucket. He's gonna do what he does. He's gonna be a bucket.
Yep.
New Orleans Pelicans get Josh Richardson. The Spurs get Devontae Graham and some picks, I think, and 4 second-rounders.
I mean, Josh.
Yeah.
I think Josh Richardson, he helps them, but I thought Mike Conley was the guy that New Orleans was going to go after, who they should have gone after. He's the guy. But again, this trade doesn't move the needle for me that much. But
I like
I'm cool
the
with it.
vet, just having a little bit more
Yes,
because he's
I'm
getting
cool
old,
with
but
it.
like that vet experience could have been good. But
I'm
yeah,
cool with it.
I liked it.
All right, that's it for Smash or Pass.
nice.
That was good. We should do that again. We'll do it with the biomarker. So let me ask you this: we're gonna get some more. You want to do some more super chats, and then I gotta add a question for you, and then we're gonna invite the people on.
Mhm.
Or is that a cool order?
Let's
All
do it. Yeah,
All right,
let's do
so
it. Just
we'll
like
do
that.
some more super chats, and then I have a question for you. So you can start thinking about it now. The question is going to be: what was the biggest, best move, and what was the worst move, and maybe number 3, biggest surprise of,
Okay.
of the trade deadline. All right, so start thinking about that one. All right, here we go. Eric Dupree. I'll read them off and we'll go quick. Can KD ever be top 10 after this mess in Brooklyn?
No,
No.
no,
I you know
I don't
what?
even- no. A fluke.
No, like, if it depends.
Oh, I'm all ears to
Oh
hear the
my-
logic on this right here. Please give us the logic on this.
All right.
Yeah, I want to hear.
Has Kevin Durant not played maybe some of his best basketball when he's been healthy this season?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gotten better.
So if he plays to that level the next 2 years and
Mhm.
the Suns win back-to-back chips and he's MVP, Finals MVP, maybe even a regular season MVP.
Mhm.
Back-to-back chips. I don't
He's
even
not
know
in
if
that
would do it for
conversation?
me. I don't think so.
Would he be in that conversation? You could try to sell it, but what you're doing now is just.
You have him top
Because he-
20. Hold on. You have him top 20 now, right?
I do have him top 20 now.
You have him
Yes.
top 15 right now.
I don't have him there yet.
I think I got KD at 15.
Okay. So if he's top 15 today and he adds in a regular season MVP, 2 Finals MVPs, and 2 chips,
Mm-hmm.
he can't move into that because we all know that 12-13 is really interchangeable, right? He can't move into that conversation.
It's going to be hard, Tone. And the reason why I think it's going to be hard
4
is simply
chips,
because
4 Finals MVPs.
the way he acquired them, though, for me, that I just
first and foremost, Tone,
8
what you're doing, right?
6 Finals appearances. Like
Mhm.
he's not in
And
that conversation.
And what you're doing now
That's
is you're making this idealistic. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that did happen. We can't completely 86 what just happened, because what just happened is a huge
exactly.
blemish.
Yeah.
Not only is it a huge blemish, it's a blemish because why he did it, and it was a ridiculous failure. So as good as he was in Phoenix, let's just say, for the sake of argument, over the next 3 years, which I don't think he's going to hold up for 3 more years, but let's just say that for the sake of argument, he does hold up for the next 3 years. He wins a league MVP, and they win the NBA championship twice, and he's the Finals MVP. That stuff right in the middle, that's going to be a huge, because nobody else in front of him has anything like that for that stretch in their prime. Nobody
Okay,
else.
for that stretch. Okay.
That would be really difficult.
Because I was going to say, because you forever tell me it's not just about the blemish, it's about how you recover.
Correct.
Because your boy had the biggest blemish of all in the finals in 2011, and you praise him for how he recovered.
People bring that up.
So if Kevin Durant comes off this disaster, that wasn't his fault, totally his fault.
Right.
I can't give him all the blame. And he comes back better, stronger, faster champion. Doesn't that speak volumes to the type of player that he is and the type of person he is?
Absolutely, it does. However, it wouldn't be for as long though. Like James, that 2011 blemish. No, I do not.
No.
If he gets back to back right now?
No, I do not.
Going to a team that's has Ayton, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, one of the best coaches in the league. No.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't put him over Steph simply for one reason and one reason only, and that is you needed me way more than I needed you.
But if he wins 2 now, no.
Even if you did win 2 more, you still needed me way more than I needed you.
One with last season, Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton, Clay for like 2 months, Draymond, who's old and had back issues. No, that does not equate, in my opinion. But I think you're right though, Fluent, about how KD, like out of those 3, that situation, that super team, like KD, I think really wanted it to work out, and it isn't on him. It's just he shouldn't have left the situation he was in.
My son always sings this song from Teen Titans, and I think you guys got a little sour grapes, get your sour grapes.
No, my grapes are
I'm a little bitter.
My grapes are not. My grapes
jealous,
are not sour.
okay?
At least you admit it. At least you admit
it. I will.
All right. The next one, Foster Boone. Thoughts on Mike Conley to Minnesota?
I love Mike Conley in Minnesota, Tone. He gives them another
That's
floor
what you
spacer.
wanted, right?
I actually wanted him in New Orleans, but I do love him in Minnesota too. Just this season alone, right? This is the most assists that he's averaged in his career this season, and he's got the best assist to turnover ratio this season. I think he's going to be able to get both Rudy and Cat when Cat comes back, and Anthony Edwards. I think he gives them easier buckets than D'Angelo Russell D'Angelo Russell gave them. And I think that's going to expand their offense even more. I dig Mike Conley on this unit, no doubt.
Yeah.
You like it too?
He's a really solid role player to have. I think any team would be happy to have him.
Yeah, I think he's a good leader. I think I think Minnesota and New Orleans were the 2 teams that I think made the most sense for him, even though he's my age. Let's see. Boom. Pat Riley is a fraud.
No, he isn't. And that's goofy to say something like that. That is goofy to say that.
Was he a fraud this deadline?
Was he a fraud this deadline?
Did he do his job this deadline?
I think he's sticking with the guys that he has because I think he likes this unit. I mean, if you look at them, I think Miami is a game. I think they're a game out of being a top 5 seed in the East. And come playoff time, I like the way that they play. For them to have to improve their roster. Tone, you and I already had this conversation about the Miami Heat. This team has peaked, but do they have another run in them? Maybe they do.
I think they're missing a piece.
And if they have another run in them, who's to say that they can't get back to the Eastern Conference Championship?
Yeah.
I am. They ain't no chance, man.
I think they're missing a piece. Like if they had, I don't know. I think if they had,
I'll tell you right now, Miami's done. They're washed. They're finished. Pat Riley should be ashamed of himself. I agree with you, Wayne. Go crazy. Wayne, go crazy. I like that name. Put it on vinyl. 13-14 Nets versus 2021-22 Nets. All prime. Add head coaches to the roster.
The 13-14 Nets against the 21. Just say KD and Paul Pierce in his prime against KG. Just say KG in his prime. And at that 2013-14 Nets team in their prime, that was with KD and KG and Paul Pierce and Jason Terry, and I think Joe Johnson was on that crew, like all in their prime. So you know what? Put it on vinyl. If we're doing that, how about we do this too? How about we put the 97 Houston Rockets? Okay, so how about we put the 97 Houston Rockets all in their prime with Olajuwon and Barkley and Clyde Drexler? How about we do that too?
All right. So Chill doesn't like that question. So
I hate it. You know why I hate that? Because that didn't happen, man.
I'll say that both teams will underperform just like they did in real life. I always go with what I see. Could the Mavs make the Western Conference Final again this season?
Well, Tone, if you look at Kyrie Irving, he's a better version of Jalen Brunson. So I think this is going to bolster the logic of Luka being able to play off the basketball and what they did, even though they're worse defensively. They are much worse defensively. However, offensively, I think that this could work. Defensively, on the other hand, we're gonna have a huge problem. I would be surprised to see this thing go far in the Western Conference. I would be really surprised.
If I may, the Alice Mavericks with Luka Doncic are going nowhere because.
Why are you leaving the D out?
Yeah,
what am I missing? What's going on?
They have no D. They have no D. They have no D. They have no D.
What about Devin Booker? So you're saying
Devin
saying Devin Booker, he doesn't have any D neither?
Correct. Yes, that's right.
That's funny. I like that. Okay.
I don't know if I love it.
Fluent Junior has been teaching me some. He says it's funny, so I said, all right, it's funny.
I like
If he says it's funny for me.
But yeah, on that, I think
they make it. I think they have no chance. I think the West has gotten so much better since the Kyrie trade alone that I don't think they're making
my
it.
world flipped upside down overnight.
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle it.
H, can you handle it, H? Can you handle it, H?
No, I'm in shock. Like every hour, my heart rate was just. It was a good day though.
What's going on?
Yep.
I can't handle it.
So we all agree there's no chance, or are you saying that?
I'm gonna say it's a possibility. I'm in the middle, but I don't think it'll happen with the West. Nah.
I just think that defensively, it's going to be really tough for them to get back to the Western Conference Championship.
Yeah,
I agree.
Really tough.
Drink more water. What was the most points you have seen scored live? This question is inspired by going to the Bucks versus Clippers last week, Thursday, when Giannis got 54 and 19. Well, you already know mine was 81.
Yep.
I've already told that story. So you guys?
I was in the building when Kobe put 48 and 16 on the Sacramento Kings in 2001. I was in the building the afternoon he did that. So that was awesome. Best game I ever seen.
Wow, that would have been so dope. The one I went to was when the Blazers Nuggets played in the they went into like double OT in their playoff game, and Dame, I think he dropped like 50 or 60, but I've seen Dame drop tons. So
wait a minute. That was just the best game that I ever.
Most points. The question is most points.
Most points.
I'm sorry. I apologize, H. If I cut you off.
Score 100.
I was in.
Yeah, Jay, you watched Score 100, right?
I was in the building when Brandon Roy put 50 on Phoenix that night in December 2009. I was in the building that night. He did that. Yeah.
And let's be honest. No one's ever seen anyone score 100. That's never happened.
Tone is convinced that it never happened.
For the record. So I have actually witnessed the most points ever scored in an NBA game.
Oh yeah.
Would Eric Dupree, would another ring for Kyrie or KD mean anything?
Sure it would. I mean, it would add to their legacy, right? It would add to how good they are, and it would add to their resume.
More. I'm going to change the question. Would it mean more for KD or Kyrie?
Maybe.
I think it would mean more for Kyrie than
that's
it would
what I'm
KD.
thinking too.
And the reason why is because of how Kyrie has been since James and him broke up. So I think it would definitely mean more for him than it would for KD.
And
I think Kyrie. Sorry, go ahead, Hailey.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think Kyrie is kind of known as like that number 2 guy, versus like KD is a little bit more of a leader, whether it's vocal or not, I guess.
Right.
But I think Kyrie's kind of like people don't talk about Kyrie other than like the drama, and I think it could be like something to change that narrative or the swing.
Right.
Do you think it? I think I agree with you. I think it would mean more for Kyrie because no matter how well he played, people seem to forget that was LeBron's ring.
Yeah.
But like Kyrie played phenomenal that series.
Yeah,
He was awesome.
So that being said, do you think they'll still knock him and say, well, yeah, he won it with LeBron? Yeah, but then he won it with Luka, who LeBron says, Luka plays like me. Less athletic, plays like me.
That's going to be with anybody, though. You know, if he wins it with...
That's what I'm saying. Will he get the credit he deserves if he plays like he played
not
the Cavs and they win?
I don't think it's quite the same as LeBron because Luka's still pretty young. I mean, is he going to be as good one day? Possible. I mean, maybe. We'll see how long he plays and all that. Right. But I think it's different. I think it's a little bit different because he's that kind of older factor on the team. So,
all right, we're going to try to get through some of these super chats a little bit faster. So you guys, I know you guys want to jump on and share your thoughts. So I'm going to try to go through them. But you know, I have a thing where I got to have them all. Yeah. L host, hey, Ron missed my super chat Tuesday, so I'll ask the best show on PC to answer. Hey, thanks, Double P. Me and my buddy, we were debating who was better, Peak KG or Peak Duncan. Wanted to hear the panel's y'all's Thoughts?
I think that those guys were very close. I mean, his best years, he had a 4-year stretch where he went 23-13, and Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan, he had a stretch, I think, where he went 22-13. So these guys at the same time, they both were awesome. But Tim Duncan being older, being on a better team, I think that expanded his game a little bit more, and he was able to show more. I think Duncan was the better player.
Yeah.
You agree, Hailey?
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too. I think Duncan, we sleep on Duncan because he was boring. And he played for San Antonio, who was boring, and Greg Popovich was boring, and he was quiet, and he didn't make noise, and he didn't scream and yell at people. But like KG will tell you, he would talk trash.
Yes, he would.
He would be like, nice try. Yep. Good effort. Like, it was that undercover kind of talk.
Yeah.
It's funny because I like KG more, but I think Duncan, I'm going Duncan too. Cool. I'm getting an echo. I don't know where that's coming from. So
Me too.
you got it? Okay. What has... Hold on.
Echo.
All right. Go. You read it.
Okay, I'll read it. See if you can figure it out. Aramis Jones again. Thank you, G. What has to also be taken into consideration is genetics as well, bone structure. So,
to be honest with you,
talking about AD, right?
Yes, I think that stuff too. But H, when you working out like you're supposed to and you taking care of your body, getting injured isn't something that's in your mind. So when you get yourself back healthy again, don't get me wrong, that confidence is shaken. But once you get out there and you get yourself back running again, Tony can appreciate this. Football players, like a running back, one of the first things that they say after they get injured is what? I want to get hit first. Once I get hit, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Let me get hit so I'm ready to get back in it. So I think that has a lot to do with it too.
It is genetics, bone structure. Like, did you have enough calcium as a kid? Honestly, too, I know he's bulked up recently, but he's a skinny 7-footer. And I'm sorry, look at every skinny 7-footer. They're more susceptible to injury. They just are. It's fact. And he's just falling into that tough situation. I can't get rid of this echo. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Next up.
Marl Exon. There it is. The Suns are going to be great. Do we all agree?
Not yet. I don't love it. I'm on Tone's page. I want to see about this buyout. I want to see what they add to it, because as of presently constructed, they don't have any dirty work guys, and I don't love it yet.
No.
What did we miss?
Is this breaking news? Is this real, J-Rock?
What? Somebody, Devin Hester.
What? That was Tone's guy. Me and Tone talked about it.
Hester's not in the. If Devin Hester's not in the football, I don't know if that's news. That is horrible. Because, anyways, okay. I don't want to talk about. Let me move on. You ruined my night if that's the case. The Suns are going to be great. Do y'all agree?
We're not there yet.
I'm not there yet.
Saying they're going to make the right moves in the buyout market, and yes. Let's see. Bubba G Cuts. Popovich loves DeRozan. Underrated relationship.
Yeah, that was a great relationship between those two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like Pop. I like his kind of harder style, but yeah,
I
respect that. Fluent, you okay?
Hey, J-Rock, see what you did, J-Rock? You done screwed my man up with this goofy nonsense. See what you did?
Finish the
show. See, we trying to focus, man. And now what you did, this is what you did, yo. You screwed up my man with that nonsense, because this is his due. He loved Devin Hester. So now what you did is you done threw a monkey wrench in what we trying to do around here. Thanks very much, J-Rock. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much.
I'm good. Let's go. Drink more water.
All right.
Pour some more salt on the cake. We appreciate you.
All right. Remember when Clutch Sports, who endorses Chilltown, and Ben Simmons said they want a team built around them on offense? I actually like this Nets roster with Ben as the main guy and facilitator. They may not be that bad if Ben can get back to form.
Hence the term if. Hence the term if. If that's true, then we having a different conversation. But as of right now, I am not on that train, and I am not getting on that train. No way, no how. I'm still not convinced he still wants to play basketball. I'm not convinced. So nah.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna.
We'll see.
Eric Dupree, Bucks versus Boston, Eastern Conference Final. Can't predict the West.
True.
Is there now that the Nets are out of it, Philly might throw a monkey wrench in there, but you guys still like Bucks and Boston?
No.
I don't know.
I already told you, Tone. I think that the NBA champ is the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't see nobody beating them 4 times in a week.
All right. Chill is clearly part of Clutch. 100%. I just said it. Congratulations, by the way. Celtics, Darren Foss. Celtics versus Suns in the finals.
I will not be watching that if that's.
Who are you taking?
The Celtics. The Celtics. Let's just say for the sake of argument that happens, and we got the team that Phoenix has presently constructed. I think the Celtics smoked them dudes.
Yes, 100%.
I don't think they beat them. I think they smoked them.
In 5 games. Easy.
Yes, I think they smoked them.
Easy. Yeah.
Valley of the Sun gets a chip.
No.
If that is the case. Angie Carr with the super chat. With the league's interest in expanding their reach globally. I don't know who Angie Carr is, but I love your question. Let me go back. Interest in expanding the reach globally and success with organizations like Toronto. What are the chances of the association moving south of the border to the Mexico City Aztecs? Oh, she's had
I like the name.
Mexico City Aztecs, perhaps. That'd be fire, actually. I can see like the tomb, like the pyramid that they have. Yeah, that's just fire.
I like that.
Well, Angie, before we get started with expanding to another country, we got to stay on the home side, and I don't think that the NBA is going anywhere until they get a team in Seattle. That's number one. Number two, to expand to Mexico City, is basketball a big deal in Mexico? I think it is, and I think it's a big deal in Mexico, and if it's a market there, now remember they got a whole lot of other wild stuff going on in Mexico City, so. You got to deal with soccer, you got to deal with kidnapping and all of that sort of stuff, but you got to deal with that stuff here too, right? So when you're talking about them expanding in the NBA expanding to Mexico City, if it works economically and it works on a global scale, I could see that happening, because it's not a situation where you expanded from London and now you're putting a team in London. The road trips are going to kill them, because if you can imagine a team in London trying to travel to Oklahoma City or trying to travel to Golden State or trying to travel to Portland. I mean, the travel would kill them. Mexico City is in the middle, so I don't think the travel would be as bad.
Yeah, I'm going to go out and say they want to do it, but it's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen for a couple of reasons. Even though Mexico City, for those that don't know, is the largest city in North America, period.
Yes, it is.
It is number one. The problem is, one, you already see the issues with Canada. I see it firsthand with the difference in taxes, the difference in like the schools, what they teach, the language barrier. It's different TV channels. The bank accounts are different. And basketball players have complained about, think about the Raptors have been since 95 and people still like the metric system. Like there's don't forget when you move to it, when you're drafted and you traded to a team in that city, you have to live in that city, and most people bring their families, and their families then have to go to school in those cities. No disrespect to Mexico, but if you've seen, there's a travel warning right now because the cartels are causing issues. So the NBA is not going to go into that situation for one, and then two, if Toronto can't get a free agent, which is, and for those that haven't been, Toronto is a cleaner Chicago. It's about the same population. It's got everything that any American city has. You would not, if I dropped you in downtown Toronto, you would not know you were in a different country. You wouldn't know the difference. And trust me, I've lived all over the world. I promise you that. So if you have those issues in Toronto where we speak the same damn language, what do you think is going to happen in Mexico? That's going to be a garbage franchise because no one's going to want to play there.
Right.
Because now you also have a language barrier on top of all those other things I just mentioned. So that's why I just don't think it'll work. It'd be great because of the size of the city and the love of basketball and expanding globally and all that stuff. I just don't think it's realistic.
We might be looking at Vancouver all over again.
Well, Vancouver actually wasn't a failure so much as Memphis and the city offered the owner so much money. Vancouver was more of a Cleveland Browns moving to Baltimore in the middle of the night because they were getting so much money. That was more so than it didn't work. It was maybe also too close to Seattle.
Mahomes won MVP. Did you see that?
Mahomes won MVP. Congratulations. I think we all called that one though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations to Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to talk.
Patty, get him
I'm not
Sunday.
talking any football because of what I just heard.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, don't read the chat, Fluent.
All right, with or skip. Okay, that was one of the names for the shows.
Thank you.
Pimp named Slickback. Hey again, fellas and Hailey.
Pimpin', what's up, pimpin'?
What's up?
I love the trade for my Nets. By the way, we have some defensive rough riders. Could literally have a top 5 defense, and Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
Go Nets.
I love
I
this
like
trade
it.
for the Nets. I do.
Yeah.
I love it for the Nets. I do.
Yeah,
This echo is driving me.
I know.
Nuts.
I don't hear it, Tom.
Oh, you don't hear it? You're very low.
I think it's just I don't know.
I don't hear it.
Me.
All right. Can you mute for a second, Hailey? Let me see.
Yeah, let me know.
It's amazing with all these NBA trades before the Super Bowl. You can unmute. It's not that. It's amazing. Yeah. Has the NBA? Did the NBA like purposely encourage teams to do as much as they could?
No.
You sure?
No. And the reason why, because the Super Bowl is still the biggest deal. It's still the biggest deal. So no, they didn't encourage anybody. Tell me, how many times we seen this kind of stuff go on during the trade deadline? I mean, you can probably count on one hand how many times this has actually happened.
Yeah.
Hey, pause your. Hey, can you mute yours for a second? Everyone's saying it's yours. Can you mute yours for a second? Yeah. Just stay muted for a second.
Hold on for a second. Let me see.
Is it gone?
Wait, it went. He's still on though.
Whatever you did changed it. It's gone. All right, let's keep going.
Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it's amazing. Yes, it is amazing. Absolutely. How many trades happened the week? What an incredible week for sports. Aramis Jones. I feel bad for Reggie Jackson. I feel like Miami should have picked him up. Miami should go to the Knicks. And as for Wall, he probably didn't even pack his bags when he heard he was traded.
No, he is not going down there. No, he is not.
100%.
No, he is not going down there.
That's sad.
Could you, like, after everything that happened, like, I don't even know why they make that trade. Like, do they hate him? After everything he even said about them after he left, like, they were trying to lose. Look at the line they put me on.
That was personal.
Yes.
Yeah. Owners are bitter, dude. All right, Dub said, Timothy Viveros. What's wrong?
No, I'm reading the super chat.
Okay. Dub said Phoenix isn't a super team. Any thoughts? He's been wrong before. He'll be wrong again.
Dub's wrong again.
Shocking.
Kevin Durant.
Come on, Dub.
Paul George. I'm sorry. Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker.
Yeah. And I don't.
So take Kevin Durant off of that and put LeBron James on that. Is that a super team? Yes or no? All right.
Even
so
if
why
you
is it not
Ayton out of the equation? Let's just say
clear.
Ayton.
I don't believe in super teams, but by y'all's definition, it is.
Yeah.
So why isn't it? So why isn't that the logic if Kevin Durant is implemented in there?
Because you know what they'll say. Chris Paul is old and he got traded there, and it doesn't. If you got traded there, it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Nah.
It's only when they conspire. All right. Let's see. Where'd we go?
Double P.
The best thing of Double P. The best thing about the Brooklyn Phoenix trade is that Charles Barkley now has to support KD.
A bus driver.
Does he have to?
Yeah.
Dude, Charles has been crazy lately. Have you watched him?
I don't think Charles is going to support him. I think he's just.
He won't.
He'll basically say, "I'm surprised if they win. I'm surprised they won with that bus rider, and if they lose, they'll be like, see, told you, KD can't get it done.
Bus rider.
Barkley can't lose. Drink more water. Simmons, Dinwiddie, Bridges, Johnson, Claxton. That's a pretty good starting 5. Not to mention Curry, Thomas, Harris, O'Neal, and Yatu Watanabe. Championship off the bench. They're deep. They're deep. There's no stars, but they're deep.
I like it. I think it'll be good for them all. And I don't know
maybe they can have that Atlanta Hawks kind of run.
You know,
no
60 games and
no,
not this season, but
no. But I do. This team's going to be competitive. They're going to be a lot more competitive than people give them credit for. I think Jacques Vaughn is going to keep them ready. I think the game plan is going to be implemented to have them in every game. I wasn't surprised about Chicago because I think Chicago's a dumpster fire. So I wasn't surprised that they beat them. But I like this unit, man. I think that they're competitive. I do.
All right. Mars says, you can say Phoenix is a super team. I wouldn't argue. Well, there you go. There's Dub's other half.
Thank you.
Double P again. Which Suns rivalry are y'all more excited to see? Phoenix Dallas or Phoenix Golden State? My pick is Dallas. Matchup. Hope they meet in the playoffs.
I want to see Dallas. I want to see Phoenix kick Dallas's ass. I said it.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because Phoenix ain't had no business losing to no damn Dallas last year the way that they did. And to get smoked at home by 40 in game 7, I definitely would like a rematch of that. Definitely. And no reason why they should
Dallas makes the most sense because you're getting Kyrie and KD back into it.
I feel like the Suns have absolutely no excuse not to win.
Dub's World has entered the building.
Hello.
Hey guys,
Phoenix ain't a super
Okay, you have to defend your point because you can't just say stuff.
Mars says it's a super team.
Yeah, where's Mars?
No, he said it's a fringe super team. I know he said that. I was on the show with him when he said that. He says a fringe super team.
Dub, I think what we need to get to the bottom of is what exactly constitutes a super team before we go any further.
Yeah.
The way I view it, right, is just like if you have like 3 number ones, 3 guys where I think could be a number 1 on the playoff team. So that's the main thing for me. So like Stephen, before like KD went to the Warriors, I didn't consider that a super team. Michael Jordan with like Dennis Rodman and them boys, I don't think it was like a super team like that. Boston Celtics, I think, were a super team with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Miami Heat, and them guys. Like that really considers me a super team. Even with Hakeem, Scottie, and Charles Barkley, that was a failed super team, but it was still a super team.
But they were all old.
They were all old, but I mean, at that was in 98 or 99. No, that was in 99, right? When they all got together.
99, yes.
99, yeah.
Yeah, 99. I mean, Hakeem was still good. Scottie was still good at the time, and Charles Barkley was still good at that time. It just when they got together, they created something, but it just didn't work out.
Barkley had a good series.
You know how old they were?
They're pretty old. They were.
You're about the same age as Chris Paul is now. So if we're saying Chris Paul is old,
we
have a team of guys that age. All 3 of them are that age.
It's a difference.
But he has younger help on his side.
And when you're talking about a number 1 on a playoff team, I mean, KD is a number 1 on a playoff team, correct? Book is a number 1 on a playoff team. I don't know if DeAndre Ayton is the number 1 on a playoff team, but I don't know if he's not neither.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
Could be.
I don't know if he's not. He could very well be. So Chris Paul's days of being a number 1 on a playoff team are past, but Chris Paul is still one of the better guards in the game. One of the most elite guards in the game. So when I think about a super team, right? When I think about a super team, I think about a group that just got together, a whole bunch of guys that got together just to win. And the only difference with this group is that it's KD. If it was James, take KD off that and put James on there, everybody would say this is a super team. Everybody.
Dude,
really?
No, they were saying the Lakers were a super team with Russ and AD.
LeBron James.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right? They were saying the Lakers were a
so
super
we're gonna
team.
say this Suns.
And by the way, Dub.
Yeah.
And by the way, Dub, take KD out. Take KD off this roster. If James Harden was on this roster, you'd hear super team logic too.
I would hate it.
Absolutely would. I know you would hate it, but you would hear it.
I would hate it because, and that's why I agree with Mars when he said fringe, right? Because you said something key like DeAndre Ayton, like you don't know if he could be a number 1 on a playoff team. Same thing with CP3. That's why I think it's kind of fringe. If people who try and say just because it's LeBron James that's a super team, I just don't agree with those people because I don't think that's the good way of looking at it. CP3, and I told Mars this. I think Fluent was there when this happened. CP3 got bailed out. He got so bailed out by getting Kevin Durant because him as the number 2 guy, I didn't think that was going to get it done. But now him as the 3rd guy, the 3rd best player on the team, and relying on Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, this is a perfect scenario for CP3.
Right?
Huh?
Facilitate. He's going to be put up where he does what he does best.
That's what he's going to be doing.
But I have a question for you, Dub.
What's up?
What do you think? Because we know Chris Paul, like, ever since, because I'm from Arizona, I've been to Suns games multiple times. Okay, so then Chris Paul comes in and definitely changes the attitude of that team, right? Like they kind of became his minions. So how do you think that this interaction between Chris Paul, Ayton, there's been some issues with like Ayton, coach, and then also Devin, like how they're all very strong-headed, I feel like. So how do you think that's going to work? Do you think KD will be able to fit into that easily?
KD, I think is always a guy that will be able to fit into like a bunch of situations without, having any issues like that. So I'm not really worried about KD. Aiton's the main guy that I would sit here and maybe him being headstrong like that. But I think they'll be able to get through it for the playoffs in order to win a championship. Right now, their chances of winning people will offset a lot when winning is involved. If they don't really like each other like that, it's cool. If I got KD, Devin Booker, and CP3 is like, Ayton, I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe I don't want to be with these guys, but I'm just gonna fight one for the team, take one for the team. Like, screw it. When we are in an opportunity right now to win a championship. So and then the guys around him in his corner that he's been with him for the whole entire season, for damn near his whole entire career, they're probably in his corner too. Yo, I'd feel you. You probably don't have the best relationship with everybody. Nah, bro. Let's sit here and let's get this done. And that influence that of your peers, it has an effect on you. So I'm not really worried about that.
We got some more super chats, and we're gonna ask you about your biggest surprises. Dub, feel free if you want to sit in, whatever you want to do. We'll take DeAndre Ayton in New Orleans, says Armis Jones.
Then why didn't you offer him a contract that he wanted? You could have offered him a contract last summer when he was available, and you could have had him on your crew. You don't want him.
Jones, I believe Mr. Jones, all he has to do is call up New Orleans and probably let him know that he'd subsidize that trade. They probably do it for you. Pirate Hunter 3200. How do you guys feel about Josh Hart to the Knicks? I guess we talked about it a little bit, so we all like that move, right?
Yeah,
I do.
We like when people like Brunson and Hart, who are friends like that. We like when they get together. It's the same thing. Part of the move for Jakob Poeltl to Toronto was he was best friends with Pascal Siakam, and I think that was part of the move to make him go there. Those two were like Butty and Bench, like they were friends. They were tight.
I'm also thinking about it from the aspect of Josh Hart being like a Norman Powell type of player for the New York Knicks. In addition to him being cool with Jalen Brunson, I think he adds like a Norman Powell, a guy that gives them punch off the bench, plus one of the better rebounding guards in the league, which is what the Knicks need because they don't really have that, especially in their rotation. Yeah. I'm out on Obi Toppin.
How y'all making fun of my?
I don't like him.
You can't operate with the ball like Norman Powell, right? You can't operate with the ball like Norman Powell, right?
No, I'm not gonna say that in terms of an offensive player, but I do think that he's a better long ball shooter. I think that he's better in transition. I think Norman Powell is a better one-on-one player than him, but I do think that he gives them that other stuff, like him being a better defender, him being a better rebounder. I think he gives them that other stuff that they don't have off the bench.
Okay, I got you.
I'm old. I don't mind being corny. All right, Justin. Does this KD SEO? See, I'm a marketing guy. I see SEO and I say SEO because that's search engine optimization. But anyways, that's a different topic for another day.
No.
Go check out Synced. SYNCT.ca if you need any marketing. That's my company. Love y'all. Does this KD trade remind you of the 2013? He's already saying no. 2013 Celtics trade with the Nets?
No, absolutely not. And the reason why it doesn't is because KG was washed. Not only was KG washed, Danny Ainge basically robbed them dudes. Gave up KG, Paul Pierce, and Jason Terry for two or three ones, which turned into Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And KD is not nearly as over the hill as those two guys, as those three guys were. KD still got the goods. Those two guys did not. No, I'm out.
Yeah.
I think they still had the goods. I'm not gonna lie.
No, KG was over. KG was over.
In 2012. It was
13.
KG.
13.
Yeah, no, because the season before, correct me if I'm wrong, they went to Game 6 with the Miami Heat, right?
Game 7.
They went to Game 7, like Paul Pierce, because they got Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and who was the other player? There was one other guy, right? Jason Terry? Was it Jason Terry?
Yeah.
Jason Terry.
So, in my opinion, like that 13, I don't think those guys was really, they weren't done. They weren't done competing. It's just LeBron was just being LeBron, you know? So, I get what you're saying with KG, but I mean,
I think he was over.
Paul Pierce, KG, and Jason Terry, they did go to Game 7 with LeBron James, and it just wasn't KG.
Now, just so you know, Dub, the next year with KG and Paul Pierce and Jason Terry, Brooklyn saw Miami Heat that next year. Smoked them in 5 games.
They got trashed.
Smoked them in 5 games.
Aramis Jones, he's going to make that Ayton trade happen during the offseason. He's firing David Griffin. Hey, Jones, just check it out, man. I've been pushing for a GM role, and I promise NBA finals appearance within 3 years and a win within 5, or I give all my money back. So just so you know,
Speaking of a GM role, just so you know, so y'all talking about pushing for something. If I got to watch Anthony Davis go for 40 and 20 tonight on Giannis after what I saw a couple of nights ago, oh my God, I'm going to lose my mind.
All right, we got to get through these. Guys, I promise you in the chat, I'm trying to get you on the show. We got to get through some more of these. John Wall got waived. Time to retire. No, is it time to retire for John Wall?
No, I don't think he over.
He got waived, so
I think I'm glad that he got waived. We figured he wasn't going to go to Houston, but I hope if someone picks him up. Fluent, can you get us more fluent with the? I don't know what that means.
So your wife, so Riz is like, that the vibes of the ladies, but you showed your picture.
Oh my God!
They said you got fluent. No, did you see his wife? She's so pretty. His wife.
Today, she made a guest appearance today.
No,
he just showed us a picture.
And I'd never seen her. I was like, oh my gosh. So
just so you know, Dub, she's Greek. That's all I'm gonna say.
She's Greek.
Yeah.
Listen, you ever know? You know, there's sometimes there's beautiful women that go for the ugly dude, man. It happens every day. It happens every day. So, you feel me?
Which older double P? Which older legend has a better? I married up. Which older legend has a better case to be the GOAT of their respective sport? Bill Russell or Jim Brown?
Bill Russell, because he stayed. Not only did he stay around longer, he did more. Jim Brown left in the prime of his career. He was in year 9, and he still was awesome. Like, he could have still done more. Bill Russell, on the other hand, he did more, and he didn't leave in the prime of his career. He still was awesome when he was doing it.
I'll say this. It can't be Bill Russell, and I'll tell you why. Is Bill Russell the best at his position? And the answer is no. No one's going to argue that he's not the best center ever. Whereas Jim Brown, you can make an argument he could be made that he's the greatest running back of all time. So who has the best case for being the GOAT of their respective sport? Well, clearly the guy who was the best at his position, not the guy who's not even the best at his position. So it's Jim Brown.
I've been thinking about Bill Russell a lot lately, and I think a point that really gets underrated, and I don't hear it enough for Bill Russell. I don't have him as a GOAT or like as high as everybody else, but I do think about the point of this man was the only person to be a player and a coach and still win chips and be impactful.
I brought that up. Tony and I had this conversation all the time. Not only did he win one, he won it. I think 3 times. Yeah, he won it 3 times as the head coach.
You talk about lead GM. That's Bill Russell, the coach. Like
he's in the Hall of Fame as a player and a coach.
That is true.
That's why.
That is crazy.
Hey, just because there's so much chat in here about what Riz means and all that kind of stuff, I'm feeling like we need to do a show, something with the word fluent in it, where you young dudes teach me all the new words, because I clearly don't know. Yeah, fluent and Riz.
Let's get fluent.
Yeah, because I have no idea. You guys are saying stuff in the chat. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't.
All right, G-Man gave us 40. I have no idea what that symbol is. I don't know what those are. Lira, maybe? I don't know. Franks? I don't know. I don't think KD has 2 more chips in him.
Me neither.
Does anyone agree with me that he has maybe 2 more chips in him in Phoenix?
No.
You guys are
double green?
No, I agree with you. What's
going on in this world?
Who's gonna beat them? Who's gonna beat them? Chill.
Dub, you're so easily swayed. What looks pretty does not necessarily work.
Oh man.
All right, so hold on. Let me do this. Oh wait, wrong one.
Yeah.
I have to address this really quick. Blind Daily. How is your name Fluent and you want us to teach? Okay, I'm Sports Fluent, and I always say my job is to make you more fluent and to make me more fluent too. Nobody knows everything. I'm smart enough to know that. So I want y'all to teach. I want just
because he's fluent, that doesn't mean he's fluent in everything.
This dude's a historian. This dude's a historian.
Just because he's fluent doesn't mean he's fluent in everything.
That's exactly. Thank you.
That's where you guys come in.
I'm with you, though. Phoenix, yes, they could.
Yes, you with me? All right.
Here's the thing, actually.
Isaac Ford.
Hold on. Go ahead, H.
Go ahead.
Go. Add something and a little asterisk to that. If it was in Golden State for 2 more years, I'd say yes. But because if you're saying in Phoenix specifically, I'm gonna say no.
That's so sad.
You're such a homer. You're such a homer.
Not you,
all right, Isaac Ford. But Suns have been pretty trash this season.
Yeah, that's because 27 a game is out of their lineup for 2 months. You're gonna be garbage too. So. Don't leave that out. Don't make it sound like they had their whole crew and they just been garbage. 27 a game is out of their lineup.
Yeah.
Come on, man. All right, Hailey. Hailey, why are you giving Ayton I'm sure that's supposed to be Ayton and
Mhm.
CP3. Too much credit, to be
Because
honest.
they're mad because usually I talk about Ayton like he isn't a good center, and I talk about CP3 like he's nothing. But that's just because I'm like typically I will still say CP3 is one of the best, in the league. Like whether he's old or not, like he still has done it before and he can do it again, especially come playoff time. Ayton, I think, can be a lot better. I don't think he puts in the effort. So I'm just saying, when you bring all this together, I'm not giving them credit. I just
Okay. I'll tell you. Let me quickly for Michael Rodriguez. No, I have no idea.
Oh, I could teach you that, Fluent. I could teach you how to get sturdy.
Let's see. What's next? We're getting close. We're getting close to bringing you guys on the show. Frankie La. KD has 3-peat or win 4 of the next 7 finals just to be top 10 convo. He has to do something all-time unbelievable.
Yeah.
I want everybody to remind yourselves of this, right? I want everybody. The script is going to be written all over again. If KD, we got Mr. Ron Lit building.
When the CEO jumps in with a glass of wine, you got to let him in, y'all.
Ron, where are you?
Pinot Grigio, kids. Best thing to do.
He's at the NFL honors.
Oh, you are?
That's so dope. You got the NFL honors, Ron, for real?
That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Look at you, bro.
It's going on up here.
Throw that glass of wine at whoever didn't get Devin Hester into the hall.
Oh my God.
Yo, chill. What's going on?
Ain't nothing, brother. You see it.
Yeah. How you running today?
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. You can pass me a glass of that wine. That's what you can do. That's what you really could do.
Ron, how do you?
I'm a Cabernet guy myself. I'm a white wine guy myself. So yeah, you can definitely pass me a glass of that. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Ron, how you feel about?
Are you just jumping on to join? Are you just jumping on to join our super chat, or did you come with you always sometimes come with a big announcement?
No announcement at all. Just to say this is the best show on the network.
Fair enough.
No diss to Open Gym at all.
That was a crazy diss. That was a crazy diss, and it hurt my heart as soon as you said it.
Yo,
get over it, dog. Get over it, dog. How about that? Get over it.
This is wild. See now, Ron. Now this was a nice little chill vibe, and now this is about to be real toxic. It's because of you. It's because of you, Ron.
This is the thing. Everybody tries to say I'm Players' Choice's biggest instigator, and I always stir up drama.
That's this dude right here.
I did not do this on purpose.
That's this dude right here. That's this dude.
I really think Fluent.
It's not my fault. This dude's sensitive.
This dude right here.
Ron low key is an instigator.
If you're looking for toxicity, talk to this dude right here. This one right here.
Toxic as hell.
Dub is the toxic one.
I'm a good man, bro. I'm a good man. Y'all don't have to do me like that. I'm a really good man.
You know why Ron really jumped on, right?
Why is that?
No, I don't.
Because Ron knew I was about to get through all these super chats, and he's like, I can't let him get through them all.
No, not at all.
So I'm going to keep going. Eric Dupree. If Cleveland never won a championship in his second stint and was traded to the Lakers and won a chip only in Miami and Lakers franchises, you would not have LeBron in the top 10, and neither would I. KD got no case for the top 10. So the theory is because he went to Brooklyn and didn't win, that it doesn't matter what he does in Phoenix. He win 10 in a row. And I disagree with that. I think if you have KD top 10 and he can go on a run of MVPs and finals MVPs and a couple of chips, I don't know how you don't have that conversation. I'm not saying he's in. I don't know how you don't have that conversation. And really, I forget it. I won't say anything about LeBron.
Just pay attention to the narrative change, right? If Kevin Durant wins this season, watch how the narrative and the script is going to flip on him and his career. I promise y'all, bro, it's going to be.
If he wins,
it's definitely.
It's going to flip crazy.
Especially if they win the NBA championship and he's like the Finals MVP. KD's a top 10 player all time.
Wait, hold on, no. Do we all think KD's going to win this year? That's really why I got jumped on.
Dub and Fluent do, and Jill and I don't agree.
Yep, I don't.
Wait. Haley.
Yep.
Dub and Fluent.
It
has to be a blue moon tonight. I can't wait to go outside. It has to be a blue moon. Dub and Fluent agree on something?
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
They agreed with each other, but then
I'll raise you one better.
This is the fire super chat of the night. I got someone's last name right. Yes, sir.
How do you say that?
I'm not saying it again.
Frankie
I said Frankie La.
Frankie La. But to raise you one better, Ron, it's between the Lakers and the Suns, bro.
You got the Lakers?
Oh, we're about to get crazy in here.
between the Lakers and the
Here
Suns.
What's up? What's up?
Oh,
Big Ox, what's up, brother?
What is going on? What is going on today?
Everybody's
I
so
told you.
dressed up.
I've never had the honor. I've never had the honor of being on Fluent and Chill.
It's the best show on the network.
It's the best show on the network. Everybody's coming out. Everybody's coming out. All right.
Ronald. No, Ron.
Ron, you're gonna hurt his feelings, bro. On paper. After trades, who would you guys have in a 7-game series between these teams? Lakers, Clippers, Suns, Mavs, Warriors, Nuggets. So
I got Fluent and Chill over. I got Fluent and Chill over Open Gym.
All right. Now you're guessing it. Now you're guessing it.
Man. I would probably go. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, wrong one.
Oh, he's fine.
I knocked him out. All right. On paper. So who you got? On paper, trades after 7-game series. Okay, Lakers and Clippers. Who you got?
I just want to put it on your mind. The Lakers have not beaten the Clippers 10 times. The Clippers have beaten the Lakers 10
who
straight
you
times.
Got, Chill.
The Clippers.
I got the Lakers.
You took it anyway.
Does anybody else have the paper?
I got the GOAT. I got the GOAT.
I got the Clippers.
The Bulls aren't playing anymore. All right, Suns and Mavs. Suns and Mavs.
We gotta come around one day.
After this is post trade.
I'll take Phoenix in that.
Suns and Mavs. Anybody
I got the top 10 player.
Suns. Hailey. Hailey's got the Mavs. I bet.
I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna take. I think Kyrie and Luka could do something.
Hater.
Yeah, I'm with Hailey. I got the Mavs.
Yeah. Phoenix isn't gonna work. I'm telling you.
I got KD and Book.
How can you pick the Mavs, Ron, when I know you slept during a Dallas Mavericks game while Luka was on the court?
Facts.
I really only did that because I was hibernating. So when we get to the playoffs, I can root for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm rocking with JD right now.
All right. What up, JD? Double P. By the way, what sparked the debate? Was rookie LeBron saying KG was the best player in the league? LeBron said it with no hesitation. By the way, I was Team Duncan. FYI.
What sparked the debate was rookie LeBron saying. Rookie LeBron was saying KG was the best player in the league. No.
Was that ridiculous to say?
At that time,
that moment in time,
in 2003, 2004. No, it wasn't ridiculous. He
kind of, but no.
No, because he was the league MVP. He was first team all defense. He took that team to the West Finals that year. So it wasn't ridiculous to say that he was that. I thought Tim Duncan was better though, considering what Tim Duncan had done at that point.
But KG was top 5 though.
KG was top 3.
Mm-hmm. People weren't as high.
We getting close to the end of the super chats. I put the link in there. Young SA9 sent us 27 sec. You think Suns winning it all? Yes, they are winning it all.
No, I don't.
They're
between them and Boston.
They're winning it all.
If it came down to that, definitely
Jones Mookie, or is that a different?
My top 3 is the Lakers.
I'm sending them the link right now.
That's the real Mookie.
That's the real
Mookie.
My
top 3 is the Lakers. Yeah. My top 3 is the Lakers. Well, no. Not in order. Is Boston, Suns, the Lakers.
Duh, what are you looking at with this Laker team, yo?
Bro, I finally see a team. Yo, it's the writing on the wall.
You see the end of the tunnel now?
It's the writing on the wall. Chill.
Number
one. Wait. You guys.
Season 6.
No. Let's chill. I remember you was the same guy. I edited y'all videos off the panel, bro. You was the same guy that was high on the Lakers saying nobody wants to see these guys in the playoffs when they start figuring things around.
Right.
In my opinion, I thought that was wrong. But in my opinion now, with LeBron and AD, you finally got guys that complement their play styles while getting shooting. You got Malik Beasley and Vanderbilt, who are good defenders. Mm-hmm. They just got Mo Bamba, who could be a shot blocker down low for them to give AD some time to do other things, you know? This is the makings of they're trying to construct what happened in the 2020 finals run that they had when they won the chip the first time. So I'm looking at the team. I'm like, they finally got rid of Russ. So now LeBron can be on ball, do his thing, without worrying about anybody, and get guys to their spots. The writing's on the wall for these guys to be one of the best teams in the West.
And the one thing that
the Lakers, you said the Lakers, though?
Yeah.
Wait, Dub, were you high on the Russ, AD, and LeBron trade as
Rated
well?
R has entered the building, guys. I'm letting you all in so that I can get you in, get your thoughts, and then unfortunately get you out because we got about 10 people waiting, and the whole thing's about to blow up. So go ahead, Mookie. I know you came with something to say. What's up?
Yes, I got to speak on this KD topic. like I said, this is another
Mookie Cook, Mookie.
This is another situation for Kevin Durant. Basically in the same situation where he was in Golden State. Like, this is not his team. This is Devin Booker's team, right?
Facts.
Facts. He didn't get it done with Brooklyn. The expectations for Kevin Durant in Brooklyn was to bring him a championship. And if you look at the whole team with the Brooklyn Nets, it been a second round exit, and they got swept while Kevin Durant got undressed against the Boston Celtics as well. So what I'm saying is that if we're looking at the Phoenix Suns, this is a team that last year they was the best team in the Western Conference, right? It was the number 1 seed. Then the previous year they went to the NBA Finals. And you already got a top 10 player, Devin Booker. You got still one of the best passers in the NBA, Chris Paul, who still give you 13 and 9, right? You got DeAndre Ayton, who's an all-star perennial talent, who give you 18 and 10, I believe, right? So I don't understand how this is not a super team, right? And all that being said, Devin Booker missing 25 games, Chris Paul missing 20-something games, DeAndre Ayton missing games, right? They still a top 5 seed in the Western Conference before Kevin Durant sat here and played a game for the Phoenix Suns. So at the end of the day, if Kevin Durant wins a championship with the Phoenix Suns, he still hasn't proven that he can lead his team as him being the best player, as him being the alpha over the hump and winning the championship. So even though he does win, it's still going to hold the same amount of weight as a ring as he won it with the Golden State Warriors. It just doesn't change anything, because Kevin Durant that's why he left Golden State, to prove that he can win a championship as them building around him, as him being the best player on the team, and he didn't prove it yet. So
hold on, Mook.
Anybody agree with that? Disagree with that? Go ahead, Chill.
Mook. Don't downplay how bad it was. It was a ridiculous failure in Brooklyn. It wasn't that improvement. It was a ridiculous failure.
It was a failure, absolutely.
Completely. It wasn't a failure, ridiculous failure.
It was
for him to leave Golden State, which they were rolling when he was in Golden State, and to go to Brooklyn, and not just go to Brooklyn. It wasn't like he went to Brooklyn for a season. He was there for a stretch, and it was awful.
Facts. Absolutely.
But he was there for a stretch, and it was awful. And for him to be there for a stretch, and it was awful, and then go get on another crew and win, does this change the narrative? Absolutely not.
It doesn't change the narrative. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. You know what I'm saying? So,
Fluent, I'm not going to say
we can't. No, just because of time, we can't. We're going to save it. We're going to put a pin in this one for next week. Gabe, what's up, man?
Impeccable timing.
I just want to. How's everybody doing? Personally,
We're all good.
It's been a very ridiculous day. So, Chill, I just wanted to say the other day I was on your show, and it's pretty crazy how, like, it's very ironic, rather, how you were calling the Lakers very trash, and then they go on and do that crazy trade. I was going to ask you how you feel about that.
They still garbage.
That's whack. I don't understand how you can say something like that.
You know why I can say something like that?
Why?
For one reason only. Where are the Lakers right now in the Western Conference?
But that was with the other team.
Hold on. I just got one
team.
question for you. What are they? Okay, so if you take LeBron James off that crew, and let's say we got James Harden on that crew, how are we talking about the Lakers?
But we're not taking LeBron James.
We're not taking, but why would we take LeBron James off?
The only reason why we're talking about this team, is because LeBron James is on it. They are trash. And until they prove something different, they are garbage. That's the only reason why we're talking about them. Because James is on that crew.
That's your question.
That's terrible thinking.
We don't talk about any other 13 seed in the NBA. We don't talk about any other. We don't talk about any other.
Put the other side. Put the other side, bro.
3 days ago, were you talking about the Mavericks? Because if you took Luka off that team, they were garbage.
Right.
But you can't make that assumption.
Here's the difference, Tone. The difference with that, that's a garbage example. You know why?
Even if you have LeBron James on the team,
hold on,
Easy win. Easy win. Sorry.
I Fluent Chill. Haley, thanks for letting me drop by.
I'm talking about the Orlando Magic. I know that for a fact. I know we ain't talking about the Orlando Magic, and they 13th in the East. We ain't speaking a word about them.
We got two more people that did not speak. Please, I don't know who you are. I don't see your names on here. The guy with the Ben Wallace.
It's me. Here we go.
Oh, hey, what's up? Okay, what are you gonna tell us about the Pistons?
Yeah, so
Wiseman.
I'm depressed kind of because I really did like Sadiq Bey. I felt like he knows this offense well, and although I do like James Wiseman, his potential, I don't like the fact that I'm seeing reports now that the Pistons plan to start James Wiseman over Jalen Durant, who has proven why he should keep the starting position in terms of his defensive ability, and he can get a double-double.
Why do you think y'all traded for James Wiseman? What do you think y'all traded for him for?
I mean, Saddiq Bey was unsettled, so I just think we wanted to get Saddiq Bey out of there. But the major problem is why we didn't trade Bojan, because a lot of contending teams wanted Bojan Bogdanovic, and we're not going to be a contending team anytime soon, in my opinion. I think we could have gotten way more value with trading Bojan Bogdanovic than trading Saddiq Bey. We could have gotten role players, maybe more young players and draft picks, instead of just getting James Wiseman and trading Saddiq Bey. So the major problem I have is that we traded Saddiq Bey, although we had the opportunity to trade Bojan Bogdanovic. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's all I have, man.
Unhappy in Pistons land. We got just. Let's go just 10. We're gonna finish our super chats and then get to the rest of you that are waiting in there. We're gonna get to you. Just what's going on, man?
I'm doing pretty well. Was it shout out Dove for open gym earlier this afternoon? I was on there for a hot take. What was it? I mentioned to him this before, and I want to ask you guys this too. So, based on the success of how the Nuggets are doing, not including tonight, considering that they just lost to the Magic, but the success offensively that the Nuggets are doing, and how they are the number 1 seed. If the season were to end today, and they end as number 1 seed, and for the playoffs, for them not to reach the Western Conference Finals, would you compare them as a false number 1 seed like the Utah Jazz?
Ooh,
would I compare them as a false number 1 seed? I mean, I don't know. Well, wait a minute. I don't know if it's a false number 1 seed. You can get a bad matchup. The Dallas Mavericks in 2007, I think if they get out, I think if they don't have to see the Golden State Warriors, I think they in the NBA Finals. Because I thought that
with all due respect, is if my memory serves me correct, weren't the Jazz like number 1 seeds like 2 seasons back to back?
I know they were the number 1 seed I know they were the number 1 seed the year that they lost to the Clippers. I do know that for a fact. Now,
and then the year previous before that,
I don't think they. I'm not sure they was that in the bubble.
I'll stay consistent. I'll stay consistent. If you're the number 1 seed, be it in the NBA or in your conference, and you fail to make the final, it is a disappointment. Yes, 100%. Like, I'm sorry, I say that every year, every team. I don't care if you were the best throughout the season, unless something happened, unless someone got hurt or whatever, like something changed that dynamic. If you're the same team and you don't make it to the final, it's a failure. It's a failure. You're the number 1 seed for a reason. So yes, if they are the number 1 seed and don't make it to the finals, yes, it'll be a disappointment.
I think that Nuggets team is better than that Jazz team, no.
But they're both compared as a number 1 seed, though. And if they don't live up to the expectations of making to the conference finals,
that's also a fact.
100%. Sure. I always pick on the Cavs.
I also will say this right now, hot take. I don't think the Suns are going to do anything. I think they'll make it out. I don't think they'll make it out of the first round.
Oh, I don't think they're a first round exit, but I'm not.
Wait, can I back it up real quick?
Yeah, 100.
So Kevin Durant, he's an okay defensive player. I'm not saying he's the greatest. I'm not saying he's the worst. However, relying on Torrey Craig as your defensive anchor now instead of Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, it's a tough take. Because now
that's because you don't see the vision of who they're going to get in the buyout market. That's where they're going to get their defenders. That's where they're going to get their people.
But Phoenix for the remaining of the season as well as the playoffs, their main agenda should now be we have to outscore more than we can give.
Yeah, that's the NBA now.
KD is actually a really good defender.
I mean, I guess so. I
didn't call him Durant. Did I call him Durant? Correct. I did, right? All right,
I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm just saying to have him and Torrey Craig as your anchors for defense instead of Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, it's kind of flawed if you ask me.
You do. Oh my God! In 2021, they were up 2-1 on the Milwaukee Bucks champion, and Kevin Durant was the best defender. So. If that happened, then I have no reason to doubt what they could do with Kevin Durant being the best.
I'm not worried. All right, just man, appreciate you. I'll just put you here for
open gym dub.
Open gym tomorrow.
Open gym, second best show on the network.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy.
That really bothered you. All right, quickly. I know there's a couple people waiting, so quickly because I know me and Chill have to go soon. So quickly, let's see. Deion Sanders is a football one. We'll go through these quick. Ghost man. 231. Deion Sanders said there should be another club in the NFL Hall of Fame voted by the players. Y'all agree? Is Hester a Hall of Famer? Deion said yes. This is why I always say they need to have either like they really need to make a separation between first ballot and not first ballot Hall of Famers. Like they should have like a separate wing. And yes, Deion Sanders, like they should get like a special badge, I think, for the greatest of all time. Like they should have a separate wing because there's Hall of Famers and then there's like Hall of Famers. And yes, Devin Hester, 1 million.
Everybody that's in the Hall of Fame is not on the same level. Just because you're in the Hall of Fame does not mean that you are as good as this guy.
Yeah. No. And Devin Hester not being in there. Like, you're the greatest in the history of the sport at your position. Yeah. You need to be in the Hall of Fame first ballot.
As good as Eli Manning is and winning world championships, he was not better than Jim Kelly. He was not better than Dan Marino. No, he wasn't.
There you go. Hugh Martin. So 3 stars left Brooklyn, but Kai the cancer? Bet.
I mean,
is that for you, Hailey?
I agree.
No,
I agree with that super chat.
No, I don't. I think he's saying some people have said, Kyrie is to blame.
Oh.
I think there was mutual part for sure in all 3 of them. I don't think that should have ever happened in the first place, but it did. And
a lot of the Kyrie stuff is the off the court stuff too, right? Like when you only play half of the available games, you're gonna get slander.
It is sad though that Kyrie kind of got like cooked the most. Like he did not want to go to Dallas. Like even in his interviews, he's like sad. You can tell how sad he is. It's really sad.
He's putting on a smile.
Yeah. Work, I guess.
I stand with Kyrie.
Vignesh, have you ever seen these? What are these, Dub?
Well, that little, I think it's like pounds or something. I don't know what the hell
that's
it is.
Not pounds. CP3 is averaging 13 points per game. Dude is washed. Suns are not a super team. Russ averaged 20, a point triple-double in Washington.
I guess he's trying to say the Lakers were a super team because Russ averaged a 20.
No, I think he's saying that the Suns are not a super team because of CP3.
No, I mean, not the Suns, the Lakers.
Really?
The Lakers.
I tell you, I don't believe in super teams because no one can agree on a damn definition. So it's nothing. If you go to a team, Who cares? Good luck. If you win, great. If you lose, too bad.
God bless you.
Yeah. Denver and Warriors taking with the KD move.
Oh,
Denver
please.
and Warriors. Is that for you? That's for Hailey. Yep. I think you're right, Young.
We got Gary Payton back. We already know
Gary
how
Payton's
it's
going to
work.
solve all your problems?
No, not all of them. Steph needs to come back, and hopefully he will. I don't even know how that's going to turn out. If Steph comes back and we have the rest after All-Star, that's when we'll begin to heat up. I believe that we could make it to another Western Conference Finals. Can we get to the finals? Maybe not, but I think we could. I think we can.
My new favorite super chatter, Angie Carr, always has the best questions. LeBron stated that one of you and Armis Jones are my 2 favorite people. LeBron stated that one of the sports he was looking at during the decision, one of the spots, during that was Chicago. Hypothetically, if he and Wade teamed up with Rose in Chicago, how many rings would they have been able to get?
I think they would have won it at least once, probably twice. I don't love the fit with Wade, James, and Derrick Rose. You got 3 ball dominant guys, and
wasn't Melo supposed to join that team too?
And well, I know Melo wasn't. I knew he wasn't going to Chicago. Melo was about to break. He could have went to Chicago, but he stayed in New York because of the money. Okay. He didn't. He did not go to Chicago because of winning. Because he had a better opportunity to win. Because that team was better in Chicago with Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler and who am I thinking? The defensive player of the year, Joakim Noah and Luol Deng. I thought that team was better, but I think that they do win in Chicago. I don't think that they do what they did in Miami though, because I think those teams in Miami, I think they were better.
I'm going to say 1, and not because of anything other than this. We saw what happened in that first year in Miami. I don't think that changes. I think that still happens. And then I think Derrick Rose still breaks down, right? Like I'm not changing all of history. So Derrick Rose breaks down. So now it's just Wade and LeBron. And so I think it's 1, mostly because of what happens to Rose. Last super chat, and then we're going to get guys, everybody that's waiting, we're going to get to you. Be quick though. I'm going to bring you on, say your question. I'm going to kick you off. We're going to rebuttal or respond, excuse me. Here we go. Vamp, you still doing PC Super Bowl special?
PC Super Bowl. We may. Ron, we may do that. So stay in tune for that.
Is that you're talking game day?
Game day. Me and Ron.
Saturday is the PC Gridiron Bowl where we're gonna have a bunch of football matchups. We're doing head-to-heads like we did before. The Sunday is still in question. We'll
Yeah. So just stay in tune for that. Be ready for that. But I mean, I'm not gonna be available. I would say that I'm going out. You think I'm playing? I'm going out, bro.
He's going to lose.
Yeah.
Love is going to loop up all the street posts in Philadelphia, so people people don't.
I think the kids call it.
I'm gonna be like, yo, climb that. I'm gonna climb that. Climb that. I'm not climbing that. I'm afraid of heights.
Bubba G Cuts, what you got?
What up? So like now that after the KD and the Nets thing has ended, like the Nets failure, how are we talking about the shot that KD hit in 2021 against the Bucks? Would that have changed anything? And would the Nets have broken up if that shot counted as a 3, then 8-2 if he hadn't stepped over the line?
Narratives would have changed dramatically off of that.
They win that series, yeah, of course.
Narratives about KD and Giannis, bro. I promise you, Giannis would be looked at as a playoff underperformer. He wouldn't get as much love as he got because of that 2020 ring. If KD makes that shot, a lot of hate will be directed towards Giannis, and a lot of love would be coming for Kevin Durant.
And the big 3 would still be here today, or if they will go on and win it.
I don't believe so. I think what we saw, it wasn't just one example; it was multiple, and I think that
I'll say yes. I'll say if he hits that shot and they do a deep run or go to the finals, it creates a different narrative about that team, and then I think they treat it differently, they feel differently, they act differently, and it changes everything. So yes, I say they're still together.
I agree. Like I said, winning could change a lot, and you being that close, it could have shifted a lot of people's attitude.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm saying ask the question. I'm going to take you off, and then we're going to.
I'll be out too because I don't want to take too much of y'all time.
We're way over.
Y'all be easy. Yeah, it's 11:30 right now. Okay. I know y'all gotta be in bed soon.
Be easy, Dub C.
Later, Dub.
Peace.
Oh, he's back.
That was weird.
What's going on?
Hi.
All right, what you got, Logan?
Yeah, man. I just want to ask you guys. I know that right now it seems like the Grizzlies are kind of sputtering, out of control right now. But I still think that their roster has what it takes to make a pretty deep Western Conference run. I was thinking, like, what teams do you see, like, truly, like, if the Grizzlies can't take them to 7, that you just see the teams outright wiping out the Grizzlies out the playoffs?
Denver.
Yeah.
The Clippers. Those 2
Oh.
teams, Denver, the Clippers. Barring any health issues, with adding Kennard, I think he's going to help you guys, because before adding Kennard, the Memphis Grizzlies were one of the worst 3.
I'm not a Grizzlies fan. I'm a Pistons fan.
They were one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the game, and adding Kennard, I think he's going to be able to expand that offense. He's going to be able to stretch the defense. So I think he makes them a lot better. But before he gets on that crew, I'm not sure that they beat the Clippers. I'm not sure that they beat Denver. I'm not sure that they beat I'm not sure that they beat Phoenix. So as of right now, I think Memphis does a lot of yapping, and it's not backed up with any results. I mean, they had a 9-game losing streak this year. I mean, I can't get on board with a team as a championship team that's losing 9-10 games in a row. We don't do that with nobody in NBA history. So I'm straight on Memphis.
I really like Memphis. I want them to be successful. I like the players on their team. I actually like their attitude. I know they chirp a lot, but I like the confidence. They're just so inconsistent. I can't bet on them to do anything. I can't trust them. I can't trust them.
I think there was a point that I think there was a line like confidence is one thing, but just talking to talk is another. So in my opinion, I don't think, like, your question was who would blow them out. I don't think any of those teams Jay mentioned personally would blow them out. I do think it would be a good matchup, maybe a game 5 or 6, but yeah.
It just seems like the consensus is the Grizzlies fell out of, like, contention, and I still think that they're in that upper echelon, even though that they're falling off in the regular season. I still think they're one of those upper echelon Western teams.
I think they just got distracted. They'll pull it back.
They're up there still. Yeah.
Appreciate it. True hero. What you got, homie?
I'm gonna just say this real quick. I wonder if John Moran is still finding the West, but that's not what I'm here for. Fluent, I actually came fair for you. Yeah, I got some problems in Toronto, boy. Okay, so with y'all signing Jokic Poulter, right, from the Spurs, he starts, correct?
Jokic Pirtle, what? I heard
He starts, correct?
Starts.
Does he
Will he
start for
start?
you
yeah,
guys?
he starts. Yeah, he starts.
Okay, so with him starting for you guys, that means you got Fred and Gary Trent, Pascal, Scotty, and OG. One of them dudes come off the bench, and I think that's
It should be Trent. Trent should be coming off the bench.
You think so? Who's that shooting guard? Scotty Barnes?
Well, no, actually, Fred's actually your shooting guards, and Barnes lines up as the point guard, point forward.
You think they're gonna do that?
Yeah, 100%. They've been playing him at point quite a bit.
That's all I wanted to ask. Because
Yeah,
I thought
I think Scotty starts at the point because let's be honest, Scotty is more of a willing passer than Fred VanVleet is. They want him to pass more, he just doesn't. So they're gonna put Barnes there to kind of facilitate the offense. Let Fred do what he wants to do, which is shoot. Pascal do what he does. Hopefully they get him the ball more because he's their all NBA player. And then Pirtle down low. And OG, obviously, defensively, they want to get him more involved as well. That's why he's still there. He wanted a bigger role. And then I think Gary Trent coming off the bench is what I've been saying since the beginning of the season. He's a bucket. Get him coming off the bench, going against other second stringers.
OG was going to go off the bench.
Who?
OG and Anobi, but I knew that was going to be crazy.
OG won't come off the bench because the whole thing was he wanted a bigger role. And so he said, trade me or give me a bigger role. I guarantee you they sat down and had that conversation and said, we're going to give you a bigger role. Or they would have traded him.
All right. Good talking to you.
Yeah. All right.
Have a good night.
All right. What you got, Leaf?
Yo. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah. You good?
Yo, I just want to clarify something. The Nets won this trade deadline. They won the trade market. They reopened the trade market, whatever you want to call it. Listen, you got Claxton that's up for top. That's probably going to finish top 5 in DPOY of the year. You got Miles Bridges, who got screwed last year at DPOY of the year, because everybody knows that nobody from Boston was supposed to get it. They was 20 and 21 in January when RJ Barrett hit a game winner on them. Everybody remember that. And Ben Simmons is still good defensively. O'Neal is still good defensively, and Dorian Finney-Smith was the best defensive player on the Mavericks. So that's five players above average defensively, and of course, Chilltown, Cam Thomas. I honestly believe, man, like we won this trade going forward, and we got picks back. And you mentioned on your earlier channel that we got money to play with now that we done got Kyrie and whatchamacallit off the books. The only person that's probably left is Ben Simmons, which nobody want him. So we're gonna have to probably convince him to retire or one of them things or whatever. But if you're not a Suns fan, you should be very, very mad with me. Like because the Suns, if the Suns don't come out of the West, man, like I don't know what's going on. Like I really don't. That's all
I just think to get all your picks back, that was the biggest thing.
Yeah,
definitely.
Start fresh, kind of.
Yeah, to get all your picks back from the James Harden trade and from to get all your picks back. I'm like, yo, that's so dope.
You're so high on the picks, but the picks are so hit and miss, right? Like you know this, like the guys you pick. Like, do we trust the Nets to make the right picks?
That's true.
They hit on Cam Thomas and Claxton.
Yeah, that's where GM comes in.
I mean, Brooklyn lost 3 superstars in less than a decade, though.
That's fine.
That's not fine.
Why is that not fine? It's been teams that choked worse, bro. We gonna forget about what the Houston Rockets been doing after 1995. We're gonna forget about what the Lakers did when they had their big fours and they didn't do anything. That's what we're gonna forget about.
I'm actually digging the logic that
the championship and the Lakers won a championship. What did Brooklyn get for their efforts?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that part, my man, about losing the 3 superstars. I'm glad you brought that up.
So that's what we know. Who we got. Cam on is and JJ goated. Feel free to jump in. Sorry, goated JJ. My bad.
You good? I'm glad you brought. I love Player's Choice. So, Chilltown, you're my favorite person on Player's Choice. You're very reasonable with your analysis. You and Fluent. So I'm gonna be honest. I love Player's Choice. I actually get up very early in the morning since I don't sleep. I'm over in Korea. I'm in the Army. I listen all the time. Some of the takes though have been hilarious. So one of the questions I have to ask is: are people gonna think Jokic is still the best big man of all time when he gets his ass dropped? in the West.
No.
We
already had this conversation.
Man,
I don't think they say he's the best big man though. I think they say he's the best offensive big man.
As far as I'm concerned,
I don't even know why that was said.
As far as
I
I'm
heard
concerned,
No, it was the playmaking, wasn't it? The best
Is he not?
Is
he not the best offensive big man in league history?
He's not better than Joel Embiid. I'm sorry.
Is he the best offensive big man?
To say he's the best
offensive. Well,
now,
we talking about passing.
Like we talking about the overall impact of the game offensively. To say that he's the best offensive player of all offensive big man of all time, like we leaving Chamberlain out, we leaving Olajuwon out, right? We leaving these dudes out. That is nuts to me.
I think he was. I don't think he clears a lot of them.
The whole argument they make is that he can pass the ball good. I'm sorry,
which is
that's
nuts
one
to
part.
me.
He can pass the ball at an all-time great level.
That's one aspect of.
I don't think that clears him though.
No, it doesn't. Not only does it not clear him, just so you know, Chamberlain led the 67 finals in assists. You know how many big men have done that in NBA?
Bro, I'm not hearing that. Chill.
You don't have to hear it. But you don't have to hear it.
But how many assists though?
Forget the assist for a second. This is the dude right here with the glasses. He's the guy what it looks like. I'm a production guy. I care what you produce.
I care about both of those things.
No, you don't, because if you did, then you wouldn't. Then you wouldn't say right then and there. I ain't listening to that.
I gotta ask you right now. We talk about right now. Is he not averaging a triple double right now?
We're talking about a 5-man who led the NBA Finals in assists. That has never happened in NBA history. Not only did he lead the
let Jokic touch the NBA Finals.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Hold on for a second, my man. I'm glad you mentioned that. Let Jokic touch the NBA Finals. We're in year 8 now. What's the problem, big fella? What's the holdup?
The bottom.
Right.
Sound like Tristan.
I do have a question though. So you mean to tell me if you could build your franchise around, and you're gonna choose Jokic over Shaq?
I never said that. That's two different questions.
Olajuwon.
I never said I'm going to build a
Jokic over
franchise
Will.
around Jokic.
Jokic over Kareem. No, you said best offensive big man of all time.
Yeah, but you said build a. Just because he's the best offensive big man doesn't mean I have to go build my.
But
team.
what does that mean to you then?
Why
What does that mean to you?
Well, why wouldn't you? I know that I want to. If I got the best offensive big man of all time, I want to build my unit around him.
Yeah, you want to be
Because
something.
I can still build my team around guys. I can still build my team around guys like LeBron James. I can build my team around guys like Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan.
Right,
I don't need Nikola Jokic to be my centerpiece.
But he's the best offensive big man of all time. Why wouldn't you be able to build?
Give me Victor Wembanyama, bro. For real.
Like, I'm sorry, that was the most. I'm sorry. I like Mars and I like Low. That was the craziest take I've ever heard in my life.
They tried to run with it, didn't they? They tried to run with it, bro.
What do y'all be saying? That's nasty. Forget nasty. That was disgusting.
Gross. they out of pocket for that, man.
All right,
I'm gonna get back to work, y'all. Thank y'all for letting me come up. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you.
All right, so
what you got, man?
I had 2 questions actually. I'm not gonna lie. One, I wanted to say, Chill, when I heard you yesterday when you was on Chill, because I was listening. You had some pretty good debates on there. One thing I disagreed with, which Gabe already kind of mentioned, but I disagreed with how you said the Lakers making those trades is bad. It wasn't really good for business. I think it is, personally, especially with what you were saying about D'Lo. D'Lo's still really good off the ball, but they still need a guy like D'Lo that could take the pressure off of LeBron to with the ball handling duties. But he's not going to be carrying the ball, in my opinion, a lot. But he'll still do it enough for the Lakers to still be productive and try to make postseason runs in playoffs very soon. Also, I think D'Lo is a solid team defender. If you've been watching the film and watching the Timberwolves this year, he's really been really good in the roles of being a team defender. He's been pretty solid on ball. So I respect what D'Lo is about to bring to the Lakers roster, while also having Malik Beasley, who's a good 3-and-D, and adding Jared Vanderbilt, who's one of the better wing defenders in the league, probably in top 5 in my opinion. So you add that.
We'll see.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We'll see what happens with these
trades.
And
about them Hawks.
Now they got Bamba. So I'm really like moved, and I feel like they have a lot of stuff that could go into what's going to happen in these.
I'm out on Bamba.
Weeks.
I need to see. You're out. I'm until he shows me something different. I'm out on Bamba. I do need to see it from him with the Lakers.
Oh, I thought you just needed to see. I didn't
But
think
Jay, you did say that you think this new unit is better than what they had going on before. It's
I
just
think
not
that-
enough to get
Isn't it a
be
much
contender.
better?
Here's the question. Here's the question that needs to be answered. With this Los Angeles Lakers unit, what is the expectation coming into the season? Not with this unit right here. What was the expectation coming into the season?
Championship.
The Lakers
to win the NBA championship. That's correct.
No, wait, with this version of the not this version.
Not this version. When they first came into the season, the logic was to win the NBA championship.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't.
Oh, please! That was what everybody was saying. The Nets
so
and the
what would
Lakers.
JJ,
do that.
JJ, come on.
I don't think the Lakers are expected to win the championship.
JJ, you been drinking tonight, bro?
So now what we're doing? What we're doing is we're upgrading the roster. So they get Russ off the roster, right? They get Beasley, they get Rui, right? They get Brian off the roster, which I really liked him, but they get him off the roster and they add D'Angelo Russell. So now with this roster that they have currently, what is the expectation with this roster?
For them to make a pretty deep playoff run,
playoff
especially before all the stuff that happened at the trade deadline, which was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people are even higher on what they're doing until Kyrie and not even Kyrie. Kyrie started it. But, I was about to say Kyrie started, but KD made it like, all right, we're not letting LeBron get this ring no more. Like we're not even giving him a chance.
JJ.
There was no Lakers championship expectation to start this season.
Yeah,
Yes,
I don't.
Yes, it
When they
was.
first came together, Fluent.
Yeah, it was.
When they first came together.
When they first
Yeah,
came
it was.
together. If you're talking about when in 2020, yeah, no, that's
No,
fair.
I'm talking about the 22-23 season when we started this season.
No way.
We started this season.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember.
We started this
Wait,
season.
wait.
I
Who
thought
had the Nuggets and the Grizzlies at the top of
Nobody.
the West before this year?
I did not.
Like,
I did
stop
not.
this, bro.
I
Like,
had them
wait,
as a top 3 seed. I did have them as a top 3 seed.
You didn't have the Grizzlies at the top of the
No,
West.
I did
That's
not.
a
I did
negative,
not.
Batman. I did not have the Memphis Grizzlies nowhere in the
No, I
top.
did not.
Wait, what am I hearing right now, bro?
JJ was one of the Memphis. That's a negative, Batman.
All right,
I did
time
not
out for a
have
second.
them.
Wait, and this is my last question.
Hold that question for 1 second. Hold on, this is JJ. This is for you, Chill. What was Moses's game? This is an honest question from Put It On Vinyl, because someone had said Moses over Jokic,
I could tell you that.
and it sparked this question. So, what was Moses's game?
Moses was the consummate dirty work guy. Moses was buckets around the box. Moses was a legit defender. Not only was he a legit defender, he was tough as nails. Moses, you could go to him. He wasn't an efficient passer. Moses was not an efficient passer. He was somewhat of a black hole. But if you went to Moses, you were going to get buckets. Moses clean glass. Moses was one of the better transition players in the game, and he was deep. His box work and him on the box defensively, he was one of the best. No question about it.
I heard he was a great transition player too.
Yeah, he was awesome in transition.
He was super athletic. I think he might be one of the most underrated big men. Like people forget he's an MVP.
Yeah.
Like he was
two-time,
really
right?
good,
He ruined the league, bro.
2 times. Yeah.
Three
times?
Was it 3?
Wait, was it 3? Wait, give me them. Wait, give me them years. I only remember 2.
Was this before merger or
he wanted it. He wanted an 80. He wanted an 82. He wanted an 81. And let's see, he wanted the year before. Jabbar wanted in 80. I think Jabbar wanted in 79. I think Moses wanted in 78.
Moses,
One of them
78,
Yeah.
78,
Yeah,
79,
he wanted in
81, 82.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 3. Okay, all right. So
He wanted
yeah.
3 times.
It was all three with Houston, right?
Yeah. No, 2 of them was with Houston. The other one was with
Houston,
Philly.
and then he leaves Houston and goes to Philly, wins another one, and that's the same year he wins the chip, right?
He was an out of pocket rebounder, bro. I couldn't not. Yeah.
Wait, they were saying he was better than Kareem, right?
Who said
He outplayed Kareem,
like around like 83.
but he wasn't better than Kareem. No,
Elvin Hayes even
career-wise,
outplayed Kareem. He wasn't better than him.
He wasn't better than him. That's why I have such a difficult time listening to people talk to me about better players, because I've seen better players get outplayed. That don't mean you're a better player then. You just got outplayed.
So JJ, last question of the night, because we're 52 minutes over time. You got the last one. What do you got?
This is what the one thing I have to ask. So I got in like a little like debate earlier with some other people, and I just need to know your opinion to know if I'm actually tripping or like do I need to reevaluate how I look at this team. But I was told that the Hawks have a bottom 10 roster in the NBA, just roster, not the actual team being how they're playing right now, but just when you look at their roster being like compared to all the other rosters in the NBA, they said they had a bottom 10 roster, and I thought that was kind of a little like actually not even a little. I thought that was pretty blasphemous. I'm not gonna lie. So,
I give y'all bottom
let's
16.
take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Hold
I
on.
don't know if they're that bad. No,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
feel
think
like
that.
I can take a 10 right off.
There's a difference. There's a difference between being a bad team because right now we're not
Yeah.
that good of a team. But I said at roster wise,
Yeah, roster wise. So here we go. So we know
Yeah,
what
I don't think it's that
Trae Young,
bad.
right? Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Bogdan Bogdanovic, John Collins, Clint Capella, AJ Griffin. Does this sound like a bad roster already?
No, the roster is good, bro.
I think
The
they're a great
roster
roster. They just
is
aren't
great, bro.
putting
They
it
just need
together.
some leaders, bro. That's all it is.
It's a bad team. It's not a bad roster. It's a bad team.
And then when I told them that the reason why another thing is we're very defensively slanted. If you look at the roster, like we have a lot of defenders on our team and guys that play that go in to play defense and that can still score the basketball. And I said we need for us to be a defensively slanted roster and we're middle of the pack that's not a team issue. More so you need to be coached better to be a better defensive team unit. And so when I said that, they were making it seem like their roster that they were just a bottom 10 roster, and then they started got teams like the Pacers and all these other teams over there.
What is a Hawks fan trying to complain why they're not as
No,
good
not a
as
Hawks
they
fan.
should be?
Other fans were trying to tell me that the Hawks were.
JJ, either way you cut it, it's looking terrible over there, man.
But it is.
I'm glad
Y'all gotta,
bro.
all right, bro. I'm a Nets fan. We still top 5 in the East, bro. What are you saying?
Y'all are cooked. I'm not gonna lie, y'all are cooked, bro. I don't know.
I don't. And like
you should be rolling with the Utah Jazz already, bro.
Don't think this is rude that I'm kicking you guys out, but we out. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all. Any parting words, Hailey, Jay? It was NBA trade madness. And the show was the Fluent and Chill with Hailey madness because
Playmaker Hailey, H Boogie.
That got crazy there for a minute. It was everybody was top.
was
I invited everybody. I said, come at 9, come for a little bit. I said, come for 5 minutes, and then everybody just all came at the same time. So we appreciate everybody. We appreciate all the super chats. As always, I got through every single one of them. So keep them coming. We love them. Any parting words, Playmaker?
Yeah. We'll get those likes up, you guys. It always helps us get the content out to others, and it was a great show, so we definitely want to do that. We appreciate you all, and yeah, I mean, other than that, the Super Bowl is coming up, so that should be fun. Drop who you guys have. I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm more confident in it now than ever. Yeah.
Jay,
Philly.
You changed.
I'm Philly. I'm Philly as well. 27-24. Eagles fly. Okay. I just want everyone to know when we started bringing in the people from the chat, the people who were watching, that number went down. So if you want us to keep inviting people on, you got to stay and watch. Otherwise, we went from like 750 to like 500 in a minute. So maybe they like our takes better. Anything? We done, right? Sir? Nothing?
I think we did. I think we did.
I thought you were going to announce something.
Yeah, I think we're good, yo. This was awesome. Thanks for having us, guys. We love y'all. Until then, take it light, but take it.
Now you're more fluent.
That's what I meant when I said, sir. Say, take it light.